Immortal family, I, who merit in my old age, am like a withered tree reviving in spring. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 51 Flamehead Ghost, Golden Eagle Visualization Picture. However, Shui Yulong thought that if no one was willing to buy, he would wait for a private transaction. After all, he had already won the Purple Yang Pill and the Herbal Pill Sutra in succession, which was too much of a limelight. If these local foundation builders were aware of his financial resources, he might get into trouble, especially for the forces like the Chen family of Yandang Mountains, which had a great perfection cultivator and foundation building. He didn't want to provoke them. I have a 5-fold blood explosion pill, which can temporarily increase spiritual power by 5 times. I wonder if I can exchange it for this. The flame big-headed ghost was comparable to a second-level spiritual fire, and it was a living creature. If it could be refined, it would be of the highest quality to help refine pills and tools. Even the ancestor of Dan couldn't sit still. The white-browed cultivator with multiple beast-taming bags on his body smiled and stroked his beard. I have a top-grade dragon scale horse, which is worth tens of thousands of spirit stones. It can travel 3,000 miles a day, and can also guard the house on weekdays. It has learned the techniques of controlling the wind, treading on the waves, and trampling the earth. It is a 3-element spirit horse of Feng, Shui, and Earth. Yang Bei Mei, your price is too high. The Dan ancestor couldn't help but tease, then took out a pill bottle. This is the soul nourishing pill, a second-grade mid-grade pill, a top-grade pill for nourishing the soul. The market price is no less than 7,000 spirit stones a bottle, including the 5-fold blood exploding pill. Are you willing to exchange it, fellow Taoist? The female cultivator surnamed Wang shook her head again, her voice hoarse. I only exchange for forbidden treasures. Second-grade forbidden breaking talismans and formation breaking beads are all tradable. Oh, seeing that she was determined, the two had to give up. This is the 8-armed spider I refined. It is made from the second-level low-grade python patterned spider demon. It contains a deadly poison. If you are caught off guard and hit by the poison, even a foundation building cultivator will lose half his life. Exchange it for a top-grade magic weapon. This is what I want. Are you willing to exchange it? Exchange? Shui Yulong also understood that in this kind of foundation building exchange meeting, only a second-level treasure can be popular. When it was his turn, he took out the crab-bone jade pendant and held it in his hand. This is a broken top-grade magic weapon. It should be able to withstand a full-strength attack from the foundation building cultivator. It is comparable to a one-time defensive talisman. Exchange it for second-level beast blood or spiritual spring. This is the beast blood of the second-level pig ibis monster. It's a bag full of blood, about 25 kilograms, and is worth about 5,000 spirit stones. Can you exchange it? The cultivator who took out the 8-armed spider puppet before was obviously a senior weapon refiner. He spoke immediately. Exchange? Shui Yulong knew that he wanted to take it back and repair it, and then get a top-grade defensive magic weapon for free, but this opportunity had to be earned by him. Seeing that some cultivators got up and left, Shui Yulong also prepared to leave in advance to avoid being killed by them. Fellow Taoist Wang, I have a second-level forbidden breaking talisman. Let's talk at Shanhai Tea House. After Shui Yulong walked to the long street, Wang Yuiao, who was sitting cross-legged in the yard, felt warm in her heart. I didn't expect that he was also here, and he had already been promoted to the foundation building stage and became a second-level talisman maker. She immediately got up and walked towards the long street. Not long after, she saw a young cultivator sitting in a box facing the street on the street, raising a glass to her. She was moved in her heart, lowered her head and entered the tea house, and in a blink of an eye, she appeared and sat down opposite Shui Yulong. Wang Daoyao, I haven't seen you for a long time. Are you doing well? Everything is fine. Where is Daoyao's second-level forbidden breaking talisman? Are you trying to trick me? Wang Yuiao was not polite. Perhaps it was because she was used to being independent and was wary of everyone. Shui Yulong took out 3 second-level forbidden breaking talismans on the table. How about this talisman in exchange for the flamehead ghost in your hand? Wang Yuiao took out 2 objects and placed them on the table. One was the pill bottle containing the flamehead ghost, and the other was a scroll. I don't believe you only have 3 forbidden breaking talismans. I want 10 forbidden breaking talismans. I'll give you both of them. This is the Golden Eagle visualization diagram that follows the visualization method. With this, your spiritual consciousness can surge once more. Su Yuming's heart moved. Sure enough, she had a follow-up method. He smiled and bowed. Deal. Wang Yuiao took the forbidden breaking talisman with her sleeves and stood up. She looked out the window with a gleam in her eyes. If you have nothing to do, please leave as soon as possible. You have a lot of wealth on you. Maybe you have been targeted by someone. After saying that, she left with a fragrant breeze. Su Yuming frowned. He vaguely felt that there was some ghostly air about this fellow Wang. Could it be that she went to catch ghosts after not seeing each other for so many days? He rolled up the two things on the table and left. He was going to return to the talisman shop first and refine the two things first. Before leaving, he mixed in the crowd and looked around. Sure enough, he found several prying spiritual powers. There are at least 20 to 30 people building the foundation in Beyond 5 Mountains. If 10 people are communicating inside, the tribesmen outside must have heard the news, but how did they find me? Could it be the protective formation covering Bai Anfang? My unfamiliar second-level spiritual power makes me look like a foreigner. With a thought in his mind, Su Yuming stepped into the talisman shop and came to the backyard. Uncle 19, you are really amazing. In just one afternoon, the 3 golden light-flowing flame talismans I took out were snapped up like crazy. They were sold directly for 3,000 spirit stones. Do you have any more? I will exchange them all for you. I think I can get a lot of top-quality talisman materials. Yang Guangxun's eyes were full of admiration, and he quickly handed over a storage bag filled with spirit stones. In that case, you should buy me some talisman materials as soon as possible in the near future, and I will sell them. By the way, if you encounter second-level talisman materials, you can buy them. After that, Su Yuming handed over 20 golden flame talismans. Continue to sell talisman materials first, not in exchange for spirit stones. Nowadays spirit stones are not worth much. Yes, Su Yuming's heart moved, and he asked Shui Yulong again through voice transmission. Yulong, I will stay in the market for a few days. The talisman market is good recently. Maybe I can make a lot of money. Be careful, husband. At this time, in the third-grade talisman sect on the westernmost side of the Beyond 5 Mountains, there were lights illuminating the pavilion. Third Elder, a kind of golden light-flowing flame talisman has appeared in the market recently. It is sold by the Su family talisman shop. It is rumored that a few days ago, Su Yuming, the head of the Su family, used this item to kill the ghost-faced ancestor of the Wang family in Hongxilan. The power is a small top-grade among the top-grade talismans, and the selling price is as high as 1,000 spirit stones, and just now, the subordinates I sent out to follow reported that they seem to have put up a sign to promote that there will be golden light-flowing flame talismans for sale tomorrow. Oh, the third elder, the black talisman ancestor, narrowed his eyes and smiled. It seems that the Su family has a master who wants to make a fortune in my Beyond 5 Mountains. Send someone to buy it immediately. If they sell one, I will buy one. With the foundation of my third-grade talisman sect, we can't suffer a loss. This golden light-flowing flame talisman is so famous that the price will definitely increase in the future. If we can buy it back and let us imitate it successfully, then my third-grade talisman sect will be truly prosperous. Third Elder, why don't we take action to intercept the person behind the Su family's talisman shop? Wouldn't it be more convenient if we can directly snatch his refining method? Since that person dared to take action, he must have been targeted. The Order of Bai Anfang is not only maintained by us, the third-grade talisman sect, which one of the Chen family of Beyond Mountain, Yang Baimai of Yandang Ranch, Zhu family of Shizizi Mountain, and Ancestor Dan of Pinedon Tower is easy to mess with. Just wait, someone will take action first. As for the talisman-making technique, as long as it is in the 5 mountains of Bayun, it will fall into the hands of our third-grade talisman sect sooner or later. We just need to wait and see. Yes, the number of votes increased a lot. If I had asked earlier, would I have been promoted? Chapter 52, The Spiritual Consciousness Surges, Condensing the 5 Elements of Beast Fire. Unfolding the Golden Eagle visualization diagram, Su Yuming had already guessed that this was one of the subsequent exercises of the celestial phenomenon visualization method. After all, celestial phenomena can't just be some birds. In comparison, I believe that the strange phenomenon of the clouds and mists opening and the rising sun is the sequel of the celestial phenomenon visualization diagram. Su Yuming narrowed his eyes and felt that he was attracted by the sharp and fierce eyes of the golden eagle. It was an ancient time. The world was in chaos, and there were disputes and fights everywhere. A golden eagle that was 100 feet tall, with its wings folded, looked around the world, and saw a 100-foot giant python crossing the mountains and ridges in the forest. It suddenly spread its wings and flew into the air. Cry, accompanied by a deafening, sharp and penetrating cry. It seemed that the world was torn apart by this eagle cry. Shoo! In an instant, a golden light fell, and the eagle's beak hit the giant python 7 inches in an instant. When it flew into the air again, it had already held a snake gall as big as a mountain in its mouth. The spiritual consciousness was withdrawn like a tide. Su Yuming felt his spiritual consciousness doubled, gushing out from the Niwen palace, and quickly spreading in all directions. In a blink of an eye, it covered the area of 50 miles around the market, and then quickly withdrew after encountering the market formation, shrinking to a radius of 30 miles. Late foundation building, Su Yuming couldn't help but be shocked. He had only practiced the Golden Eagle visualization method once, and he had reached the spiritual consciousness realm of the late foundation building. If he used the Yunzhong attack secret technique again, even a cultivator in the middle stage of foundation building would not be able to stop it. This Golden Eagle rush is obviously a spiritual consciousness secret technique. If I can master it, I will have one more trump card. Su Yuming entered into a state of meditation and did not come out for 3 consecutive days. Fellow Taoisting, I was ambushed outside the market. The attacker was Yang Beimei from Yandang Ranch, and several other foundation building cultivators. I killed one person from the Chen family and escaped. Do you have something to repair the soul? I can exchange it with a 500-year-old Yuanling grass. Yuanling grass? Su Yuming's eyes lit up. This is a good thing. After swallowing it, it can directly improve the realm of spiritual consciousness. Maybe he can improve his spiritual consciousness further. Friend Wang, where are you? I have a 300-year-old 7-leaf flower in my hand, which is enough to repair your soul. After waiting for a while, her voice transmission finally came. Wait for me for a few days. I will try to return to the market. There are special envoys from the 5 Beast sect in the market. They dare not take action in the market. You and I will trade in the Shanghai tea house. Okay, I will wait for you in the market for 10 days. After the deal was settled, Su Yuming felt that she was in trouble. Although this female cultivator surnamed Wang tried her best to suppress her original voice, judging from the night clothes she was wearing, her figure was plump and well proportioned, and the swan neck on her collarbone was slender, so she should not be very old. I don't know if she is a lucky casual cultivator, or a female disciple from a powerful force who came out to train, Su Yuming thought to himself, and casually threw the flame big-headed ghost in the pill bottle. At the moment it bared its teeth, he had already used the copper lamp to seize its soul power, and then opened his mouth to spit out more a ball of 4-element beast fire, which directly swallowed it. Whew! The flames burst, and the 2 second-level beast fires collided desperately. Finally, under the intervention of Su Yuming's spiritual consciousness, they were forcibly merged. He tore them apart with his spiritual consciousness, and suddenly turned into 5 colors of gold, green, blue, red and brown. After merging into a ball, he swallowed it into his stomach. The power of this beast fire has already surpassed the 2nd-level mid-stage spiritual fire. Since you have the appearance of 5 colored flames, I will call you 5 elements beast fire from now on. Thinking of this, Su Yuming threw a purple yang pill into his mouth to refine it. In the next transaction, if Fairy Wang could not return, he would have to leave the market to pick her up. That was a 500-year-old Yuanling grass, most likely she got it from a secret realm. If he didn't get it, he would be very greedy. 5 days later, Su Yuming had already refined the medicinal power of the 2nd purple yang pill. The spiritual power in his body had been condensed for almost 7 years. It had only been 10 days since he broke through the foundation building stage. The breath of Su Yuming walking at this time was completely similar to that of Su Yuan, an old foundation building cultivator. He decisively threw the last pill into his mouth. If his guess was correct, the cultivator sent by their Su family to lead the expedition to the Blackstone ancient domain this time would naturally be him, the head of the family. After all, apart from him, the Qinghe patriarch would sit in the family. He was the only pillar of the family, and he must not be in trouble. Su Yuan, Su Yuang, and Su Liaoning were all in the early stages of foundation building. In this war where Qi refiners were used as cannon fodder, and there were so many cultivators in foundation building, the possibility of their death was too great. Only Su Yuming, who had a combat power comparable to that of the mid-stage foundation-building cultivators, was the first choice. Even though he was already the leader of the next generation of the Su family, he could only step forward at this time. Fellow Taoisting, can you send the seven-leaf flower to the apricot forest 1,300 miles outside the city? At this moment, he received a message from Fairy Wang. It seems that her injury is really serious, otherwise it should not be difficult to return to the market, which is only more than 1,000 miles away. Su Yuming's mind moved, and he had already changed into a customer's outfit. His muscles and bones were agitated and contracted, and his facial muscles swelled, like a short fat man, smiling, and walked towards the outside of the talisman shop. Not long after, he arrived at the gate of the market. He immediately escaped into the earth after going out, and then cast the top-grade spell Earth Dragon movement. His figure flashed and appeared 20 miles away, then released the Earth Dragon drill, and began to take him through the ground 100 feet deep. A moment after he disappeared, a figure landed on the ground and looked around. What a cunning cultivator, he is actually good at earth escape. He has been hiding underground and not coming out. It's a bit difficult to deal with. I can only go to the Chen family to borrow the earth bead to pull him out. Deep underground, Su Yuming traveled 700 or 800 miles all the way, looking for the direction of the apricot forest, unearthed to identify it, and then corrected the route and continued to escape underground. According to his spiritual perception, there are at least 5 foundation-building cultivators staying in the surrounding 500 miles. Good guy, these people are not satisfied with not catching Fairy Wang. When he appeared in the apricot forest, it was already night. He arrived early, but deliberately delayed entering the forest after nightfall, just in case. Even so, he still held a forbidden talisman and a cloud and mist escape talisman in his palm. Suddenly, there was a whisper in his ear. The voice was pleasant and gentle. Is it fellow Taoisting? You can put the 7-leaf flower under the largest apricot tree in the forest. Su Yuming frowned. It has come to this point. Is he still on guard against me? Then where is my reward? Go right for 200 steps. There is a big stone in the shape of a Chinese character. Dig down 1 foot and you can get the 500 years Yuanling grass. Thank you for the 100-point reward support from Kill Your Grandma and Dream of the Other Shore Flower. Thank you to fellow Daoists. Chapter 53. The Fox Demon is Rampant, the Battle of Great Perfection. Just as Su Yuming was about to make a move, the peach blossoms in the sky were full of red cherry blossoms. The surrounding scene suddenly changed. He subconsciously drilled 100 feet underground. Although his spiritual consciousness was still there, he did not dare to act rashly. What a Bayun Washan, you rashly broke into my territory, which is a bit too much of a disregard for me. A charming voice sounded, and Su Yuming felt a burst of heat all over his body. He moved his feet and appeared in the middle of the 3 big rocks. He took a brocade box wrapped in cloth in his hand, opened it and took a look. The stamens like stars revealed a fragrance that made the mind peaceful. It was the Yuanling grass. 5 small branches mean 500 years old. Fellow Taoisting, you have got the Yuanling grass, but you can leave the 7 leaves and 1 branch of flowers in place. Don't act rashly. There is a fox demon here with extraordinary magic power. I am hiding here to borrow her power to resist the pursuers. When the melee comes later, you and I can take the opportunity to escape before Su Yuming could respond. A sword energy suddenly fell from the sky above the apricot forest, and all the branches over a 10-mile radius were flattened by the sword. The cherry red mist covering 100 miles also dissipated instantly. You are so bold, you dare to cause trouble here. Don't you take me, the Bayun 5 mountain cultivators, seriously. 10 miles away, 5 foundation-building cultivators appeared. The leader was Yandang Mountains, the owner of the Cloud Ranch. He was holding a long sword with a green light in his hand. He was a sword cultivator. Yandang Mountains, how dare you be so presumptuous in my apricot forest? The endless rain of apricot blossoms gathered together to form a beautiful figure, but it was the fox demon Jiu Nangzi, whose clothes were half undressed, and whose fragrant shoulders and collarbones exuded thousands of tenderness in the air. Ninth lady, you and I usually stay out of each other's way, but today you must hand over the female cultivator who broke into your apricot forest, otherwise I, Bayun Washan, will never let you go. What a Bayun Washan, she just came to your market to do business, but you took a fancy to the treasures on her and wanted to rob her. How can you do business like this in this world? Aren't you afraid of provoking a strong enemy and causing destruction in the future? Stop talking nonsense. Ninth lady, You are the leader among the great monsters in the entire Tao County. Today, I want to see whether my Bayun sword energy can kill you." A stinky fox who dances coquettishly, clang the sword rang for 100 miles, and the clear sky cut off a 100-foot-long piece of light with a sword. The power of this sword was so terrifying. At least the combat power of the great perfection of the foundation building, Shui Yulong, who was hiding underground, was shocked. This Yandang Mountains was so powerful. How did the Red Gourd Taoist destroy the Shui family of the Cloud Ranch back then? Could it be that this old guy also intervened in the destruction of the Shui family? What a white cloud sword energy. I didn't expect that you have already comprehended the sword intent and reached the realm of sword energy like a rainbow. Yandang Mountains, you are qualified to fight with me today, but this apricot forest, you humans have no chance to step into it. After saying that, the century-old trees in the apricot forest began to turn rapidly, stirring up countless dust and smoke, pouring into the 5-metal apricot rain, and the pink smoke and miasma appeared out of thin air again. It turned out to be a natural formation. Shui Yulong was a little surprised, and then he found that the heavy building he placed between the 3 large stones had been taken away. Shui Yulong observed the nearby mountains. This was a valley leaning against the end of the White Cloud Mountains, like a jade bowl stretched out under the sky. Because of the long-term light gathering, and because there were forests all around, this basin also accumulated countless rotten monster corpses, so a large amount of miasma was formed. He casually put a detoxification pill into his mouth, stepped on the ground, and appeared at the edge of the formation. He took out a formation-breaking talisman and was about to break through the formation barrier and leave, but found that even if the formation-breaking talisman was completely burned to ashes, it would be useless. Natural second-level formation. Shui Yulong was a little shocked. What was the origin of this fox demon? It could actually rely on miasma and the apricot forest to set up a second-level formation. Pop! At the moment he was thinking, a formation portal suddenly opened on the side. He saw a beautiful figure flashing away, and hurriedly raised his feet to catch up. Relying on the Earth Dragon teleportation technique that was instantly performed, he caught up with her and escaped steadily from the apricot forest. The female thief has left, you go and capture her. Above the sky where the fight was going on in the distance, Yandang Mountains saw Wang Yuiao driving the magic weapon to escape at a glance. Yes, 4 streams of light quickly chased after them, and in the distance, dozens of streams of light driven by Qi Refining monks quickly surrounded them in the direction of their escape. Fellow Taoisting, my injuries have not yet recovered. Can you help me stop the pursuers? I am willing to teach you the method of practicing the magical power of Golden Eagle Breaking Illusion Technique. Golden Eagle Breaking Illusion Technique? It sounds like a pupil technique. Fairy Wang is really a treasure girl. She actually has so many good things. Isn't she afraid that I will attack her? Fairy Wang, please give me the skills first, so that I can help you stop the enemy. Seeing the pursuers getting closer and closer, Shui Yulong was not in a hurry. There were only 4 cultivators in the early stage of foundation building coming from behind, which was not difficult for him. When Wang Yuiao was running away, she was secretly annoyed that Ding Peng was too cautious. With a slight movement of her lips, she quickly told him her experience in cultivation. Wow, she suddenly threw out a handful of black smoke, which turned out to be the netherworld black sand. It instantly swept over a 10-mile radius, and the strong wind it created could almost roll all the cattle and sheep into the sky. Those Qi Refining level 9 cultivators didn't dare to be arrogant, and they all offered up magic tools and talismans to resist. She took advantage of the situation and killed more than a dozen people in a row, like cutting melons and vegetables. Which, don't run away. Behind her, the 4 foundation building cultivators came and 2 flying swords went straight to Wang Yuiao's back. Top grade spell. Collapse of mountains and cracking of the earth. Shui Yulong suddenly activated the spell on the Earth Dragon drill. In an instant, countless rocks rolled down from the cliff in the distance, blocking the flying swords head-on and stopping the pursuit of the 4 foundation building cultivators. He suddenly slapped a cloud and mist escape talisman on his body, and his figure was wrapped in mist. In an instant, he flew dozens of miles away and quickly caught up with Wang Yuiao, who was standing on a peach wood flying boat. Thank you for saving my life, fellow Taoist. Now that the transaction is over, we will meet again someday. Wang Yuiao smiled and bowed to Shui Yulong, and was about to leave at full speed. She was injured, and she didn't want to let a foundation building cultivator go with her. Shui Yulong didn't stop her. He and Wang Yuiao had met several times. Although they met by chance, They were also friends. How could he take advantage of someone in distress? You two are so comfortable talking about love. Just as he was about to turn around and leave, a beautiful figure with blood on the corner of her mouth suddenly appeared on the flying boat where Wang Yuiao was. She looked seductive, but her collarbone and neck were all stained with blood, and her colorful clothes were torn and revealed some spring light. It was obvious that she had just experienced a hard battle. Fox Demon Ninth Lady, Su Yuming's hair stood on end. This guy was a second-level Great Perfection Fox Demon. He turned around and saw that the cultivator chasing him in the distance had disappeared without a trace. The Fox Demon's eyes were full of teasing. "Don't look at me, you human boy. Yang Baimei was severely injured by me and has already escaped. You two have trespassed into my apricot forest. Today, I will use your flesh and blood to restore this broken spiritual apricot tree and use it as fertilizer for the flowers." Chapter 54, all the trump cards are played, severely damaging the Fox Demon. "Huh?" The Fox Demon Ninth Lady extended a furry fox paw and slapped Wang Yuiao's shoulder, causing blood to drip. "I advise you not to act rashly. Your injuries are very serious. Your internal organs will be smashed later, and they will not taste good. I may have to bleed you, just like you humans killed a New Year pig, so that it will taste good. Fellow Taoisting, I have the golden eagle to break the delusion. You lure the enemy first, and then we will severely injure him and retreat together, not far away." Although Su Yuming was hesitant in his heart, he found that Wang Yuiao's pleading eyes were accompanied by a bit of firmness and determination. This woman is most likely a casual cultivator. Otherwise, she would not be alone in the wild, often being hunted, and in order to explore the secret realm, she would still be entangled with the aura of the underworld. "Okay, I will do my best. If it is impossible, I will escape immediately." Su Yuming threw 5 golden flame talismans forward with his bare hands, and the 5 birds flying fire fan appeared in his palm, and he fanned it forward fiercely. While the flames surged, and dozens of miles were instantly covered by the flames. The raging flames instantly attracted Yang Baimei and others who were fleeing in the distance. What a powerful fire method! Who is using it? Is someone going to deal with the Fox Demon? "Master, should we get closer to help?" The foundation building cultivator next to him couldn't help but ask. "Don't get close, just watch from a distance. When such a strong man attacks, we don't know whether we are enemies or friends, and there is a high possibility of accidental injury. Let's wait until the battle is over, and then go forward to make friends with one or two." As he said, he looked up in the direction of Bai Unfang, calculating the time. "The old monster of the Chen family should be here soon. Come on." At the head of the peach wood boat, the Fox Demon Jiu Nangzi saw this terrifying fire method and couldn't help but brighten her eyes. She condensed the fox claws that covered the sky and the sun with her bare hands and waved them violently. In the moment when she directly dispersed the sea of fire, she saw a flaming skeleton that was 10 feet tall waving 2 knives and slashing at her. "Puppet? No, this is a talisman." The Fox Demon Jiu Nangzi flew out a piece of red silk from her sleeves and wrapped Wang Yuiao under her claws tightly. With a casual pat, she flew towards the fox cave in the apricot forest. She transformed into a figure several dozen feet tall, waving a pair of fox claws, instantly catching the flame skeleton in front of her, and with a sudden force of her claws, she tore it to pieces. Bang! Then she was knocked out, and the whole person fell directly into the mountains and fields 100 feet away. Her huge body quickly shrank into human form, and she looked at the 30-foot crab leg that continued to kill in the air with horror. "Third-level crab king leg. Are you a cultivator from the Wang family of red crab forest?" She grabbed a fox fur sachet at her waist and threw it at the crab king leg, and a sword light fell diagonally, which was the top-grade magic weapon crab demon sword. But she manifested a 20-foot fox claw with her bare hands to stop it, and the fox fur sachet was instantly shaken away by the 3rd-level crab king leg. And a crab king leg that was 30 feet long instantly pierced her heart. But Su Yuming was not happy, because there was only a fox tail left in the original place. Heavenly Fox 9-tailed, this fox demon has 4 tails after all. Now that one tail is broken, there are at least 3 more. Su Yuming had long guessed that the other party had a way to fake his death and escape, but it was a pity for his 2 talismans. Boom! The next moment, the 100-foot underground where he was instantly shattered by a monstrous fox claw, and a fox claw directly penetrated the ground and attacked him. Boom! The ground within a radius of 10 miles was completely shattered, fragmented, revealing an empty underground gully. No one, The moment the pupils of the Fox Demon 9 lady shrank slightly, the ground under her feet collapsed instantly. Top-grade magic spell, the sky collapses and the earth collapses. Boom! The huge Fox Demon body was directly covered by the falling rubble at the moment of falling. Then Shui Yulong appeared dozens of feet away, opened his mouth and spit out the 5 elements of beast fire suddenly. Under the fanning of the 5 animals' flying fire fan, it instantly turned into a monstrous sea of fire and instantly swept the place where the earth and rocks collapsed. Get out of here! The flames in the sky were torn apart by the powerful fox claws again. Boy, is this the only trick you can use? In the smoke, the slanted fox eyes appeared ghostly. Whoosh! Endless clouds and mist began to appear within a radius of dozens of miles after Shui Yulong crushed 10 cloud and mist incarnation talismans with his bare hands. In the rolling clouds and mist, it seemed that there were thousands of his figures shuttling back and forth. Wang Yuiao, who had already broken free from the red silk shackles in the distance, saw this scene and couldn't help showing a look of surprise. Quick, with Shui Yulong's roar, the cloud and mist incarnations all slashed out a foundation-building magic power, all of which hit the huge fox demon body. When the smoke and dust rose, there was a spirit crane with wings 3 feet wide, fluttering down to the fox demon's eyebrows. Cry, spiritual consciousness attack secret technique, the fox demon Jiayunong screamed, and it was obvious that her spiritual consciousness, which was still in the late stage of foundation building, was severely damaged. If we don't do it now, when will we do it? After losing 2 talismans and so many talismans at once, Shui Yulong's heart ached so much that it was bleeding. 2 golden lights instantly attacked the fox demon's back. She trembled all over, and even if she turned into human form, she couldn't avoid this blow like a thorn in her back. The golden light flashed, and her spiritual consciousness was hit like an eagle's beak, and she fell directly to the ground. Let's go! Wang Yuiao used the fox demon's red silk ribbon to roll up the spiritual weapon fox for sachet, and drove the peach wood flying boat, letting Shui Yulong land on the bow of the boat. The two quickly left the battlefield and retreated far away. Where are you 2 evil thieves going? The fox demon Jiayunong, who was in pain, had her spiritual consciousness bottleneck quietly loosened, but when she just got up, she saw an old man in a white robe holding a long sword, floating in the air and looking down at her. Yandang Mountain, Chen Ziao. The fox demon Jiayunong's face turned pale instantly. You old dog, you actually come to fisherman. Jiayunong, you have been a disaster in Xingzilin for many years. If we don't get rid of you today and let the tiger go back to the mountain, there will be endless troubles. If you are willing to surrender, you can be spared from death today, otherwise you will be doomed today. Ha ha ha! Yang Beimei, who was watching the battle in the distance, heard this shout and immediately stepped on the sword light and came. Fellow Taoist Chen, how about you and I join forces to suppress this fox demon today? Okay, if she dies, I want her fox fur and heart, and the fox bones and meat are yours. If she surrenders, I will give fellow Taoist Yang a spiritual weapon as compensation. Good. The 2 great perfect foundation building combat forces reached an agreement in an instant. At this time, the fox demon Jiayunong, who had been severely injured, was completely desperate. She almost bit her back teeth and looked viciously at the 2 figures that had escaped 100 miles away. Hateful human junior, if I had known earlier, I would have eaten you, a girl, first, and how could I have caused trouble? Xianxia is ranked 7th, and the total list is 63. Please continue to reward the monthly tickets and recommendation tickets. We must be resurrected. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 55, A Single Man and a Single Woman, The Mystery of the Fox for Sachet. Boom boom, with waves of magical power surging, Shui Yulong looked back. Fellow Taoist Wang, it seems that the fox demon is finished. She is surrounded by the 2 great foundation-building masters, the ancestor of the Chen family in Yandang Mountain and Yang Beimei from Yandang Ranch. She is doomed to die. It's a pity that we severely injured her, but these 2 old monsters took advantage of her. It's not a wasted effort. Choose one of these 2 spiritual tools. Wang Yuiao leaned against the bow of the boat with a pale face, pointing at the fox for sachet and red silk at her feet. This fox for sachet is the fox demon's natal spiritual tool. It is condensed from the fox demon stench for many years. I have erased its mark with my spiritual consciousness. This red silk is woven from her natal hair after several changes of skin. It is also a low-grade defensive spiritual tool. I see that you are seriously injured. Let's find a place to heal first. It won't be too late to separate after you recover. Shui Yulong felt that neither of these two spiritual tools was suitable for him. Although he suffered a great loss this time, it was also a life-saving grace. Wang Daoyao should give him some compensation. Shui Dai retracted the flying boat and found a cave 2,000 miles away. Shui Yulong set up a first-level low-grade illusion array at the entrance of the cave. This kind of array could not be concealed even by ordinary Qi refining cultivators. The two of them opened up a cave house 100 feet underground, which was also considered secret. Once the cave house above their heads was opened, they could be awakened in advance. After entering the cave house, Shui Yulong had just thrown out 2 cushions when he saw Wang Daoyao impatiently feeding a healing pill into his mouth. As the spiritual energy in her body turned into mist and rose, she had already begun to detoxify her body. Shui Yulong immediately began to enter a state of meditation to recover all his spiritual power, and then took the opportunity to study the Golden Eagle delusion breaking technique. He had seen the power of Wang Yuiao's attack just now. Wang Yuiao, who was at the same spiritual consciousness level as himself in the late stage of foundation building, was able to severely injure the second-order Great Perfection Fox Demon in an instant. If he could master this attack, he would have the means to hurt a late stage of foundation building. Daoyao, if you want to practice the Golden Eagle delusion breaking technique, it's best to go to the Eagle's Beak Cliff in Tao County to watch the bald eagle hunting there. However, I have experience in practicing it here, and I can pass on the method of spiritual consciousness branding to you. After about 10 hours, Wang Yuiao recovered some of her vitality and spoke weakly. Thank you, fellow Taoist Wang. In addition, since fellow Taoist doesn't like the fox fur sachet and the red silk spiritual artifact, I have 2 spiritual artifacts, one of which is this peach wood flying boat. It can travel 3,000 miles a day. It comes with a top-grade spell, 1,000 miles a day, which is a wind-traveling spell. There is also a second-level intermediate wind-rolling formation that can withstand several attacks from a cultivator in the middle stage of foundation building, and there is also this bronze bagua sword, which is tempered with 8 top-grade spells. According to the grade, it was at least a top-grade spiritual artifact in the past. It's a pity that it is so old and improperly sealed that its spirituality has been lost. If fellow Taoist can find a demon soul of at least the late second level and inject it into it, you should be able to get a good magic weapon. I am now using 3 of the top-grade spells, namely the 10-mile fire dragon spell, the water curtain lianhu spell, and the earth-shaking spell. Then I will accept this bronze bagua sword, but fellow Taoist must also have a treasure that suits you. This top-grade magic artifact, the crab demon sword, will be given to fellow Taoist Wang. Wang Yuiao was silent for a moment, then reached out to take it. I want to refine this fox fur sachet. I owe you a favor for today's battle. Shui Yulong was shocked. It turned out that she had seen through his true colors. But fellow Taoist, you must be careful. After the battle that day, your unique skills such as the 5 animals flying fire fan and the golden light flowing flame technique have become known to everyone. From now on, you should conceal your body and take action to avoid bringing disaster to the family. You should hide yourself as much as possible. Shui Yulong was grateful in his heart. Don't worry, fellow Taoist. My Sui family has been passed down for more than 600 years. We also have the means to deal with the Purple Mansion. Ordinary foundation building families dare not trouble my Sui family. That's right. You defeated the Wang family of Red Crab Forest and caused them to lose 4 foundation building warriors. Now, all the mountains in Tao County are talking about the strength of your Sui family, especially you, the ancestor of the 3 wonders, who has been listed in the foundation building list with the greatest hope of being promoted to the Purple Mansion within 100 years. Foundation building list. Shui Yulong blinked. He didn't expect that apart from the 4 sons of Yandang created by their Yandang Mountains, there would be no foundation building list in the wider world. You, the 4 Yandang disciples and the 5 Baiyun disciples, who are the best after breaking through the foundation building, will be selected. Your old lover Chu Hongxiu is on the list. Shui Yulong didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Fellow Taoist Wang knows my affairs very well. Since the Battle of Yandang Mountain, there are 100,000 or 200,000 cultivators in Tao County. Who doesn't know your name? The 3 Absolutes Patriarch, Wang Yuiao said. first planting a mark on the crab demon's sword, and then on the red silk. When she opened the fox for sachet, she nodded to Su Yuming, "Fellow Taoist, please stay away. The stench of this fox demon will make ordinary cultivators faint if they are caught off guard." Su Yuming nodded to indicate that he had sealed his nose, and Wang Yuiao was relieved and directly opened the fox for sachet. A pink mist instantly filled the underground secret room of only 30 cubic meters. Almost in an instant, Wang Yuiao's breathing became extremely rapid, and then her little face became very hot. "Fellow Taoist Su, this thing is really powerful. Please, get out immediately." Su Yuming's mind was clear. "I have a detoxification pill here, fellow Taoist Wang. Why don't you try it first?" The moment Su Yuming stood up, he was also wrapped in the pink fox spirit. In a blink of an eye, his clothes fluttered, and a beautiful figure entered his arms. When his lips and teeth were already unclear, his mind had already lost control, and the rolling fox spirit also dyed his eyes red. Boom! It was November. How could there be thunder in the sky? But the rocks were rolling 2,000 miles away, as if the sky was about to collapse and the earth was about to split. In Chen's Hideo's palm, a white jade-like three-tailed fox, covered in blood, fainted in the five-colored smoke vine cover, a top-grade spiritual weapon, and was captured by him. But her fox eyes, narrowed into a slit, were not seen looking into the distance. What a powerful spiritual power! It can actually erase the spiritual mark I left on the fox for sachet. But as a female cultivator, if you don't find a hot-blooded man, I'm afraid you'll die of internal heat. As she said this, she lay quietly on the ground. Being captured by Chen's Hideo at this time was just a temporary measure. How could she, a descendant of the nine-tailed sky fox clan, surrender and become a spiritual pet of the human race? Evil man and woman, I have remembered your breath. I hope you don't die. When I get out of this predicament, I will make you pay for today's mistakes. Have a happy weekend, fellow Taoists. Chapter 56 New Talent, Zhuanyang Body. Su Yuming, Affiliation, Foundation Building Family, Yandang Mountains Su Family Cultivation, Initial Stage of Foundation Building Age. 54/180 Secondary Occupation, Second Rank Lower Grade Talisman Master Spiritual Roots, Top Grade Gold Spiritual Roots, Mid Grade Fire Spiritual Roots, Top Grade Earth Spiritual Roots Talents, Diligence Can Make Up for Lack of Talent, 1041, 5000, Flash of Inspiration, 541 1000, Zhuanyang Body, 2/1, Cultivation Method, Yandang Cloud Qi Ju Foundation Building Chapter, Huangshan Crab Sutra, Celestial Phenomenon Visualization Method Master the Best Magic Spells, 3000 Cloud and Mist Incarnation, Golden Light Flowing Flame Technique, Cloud and Mist Escape Technique Spiritual Weapons, Earth Dragon Drill, Bronze Soul Lamp, Backer Shield, Bronze Bagua Sword Top Grade Magic Weapons, 5 Animals Flying Fire Fan, Crab King Green Water Armor, Ebony Flying Sword, White Jade Crab Legs, Crab Jade Arm Guard Talisman, Floating Light Golden Bell Cover, 4 times, Taoist Companion, Shui Yulong, 4th level of Qi Refining Beauty, Wang Yuiao, Early Stage of Foundation Building. For 3 consecutive days, Su Yuming was groggy after waking up. He looked around and there was no trace of Wang Yuiao nearby. After about 3 days, the female cultivator had fled away in shame. Her physical strength is also amazing. In the previous fight, I saw that she was good at spiritual attack, but she didn't cast too many spells. Could she be a physical cultivator? Su Yuming rubbed his waist fiercely twice. If I can find a physical cultivation method or a new dual cultivation secret technique, it would be great. Otherwise, I'm afraid I will be laughed at when I see Yuiao next time. Su Yuming's mind rippled, recalling her beautiful and pure face under the veil. Even if he meditated and adjusted his breath, it was difficult to regain clarity. I don't know when we will meet again in the martial arts world. Su Yuming knew that without much emotional foundation, his cultivation was not too strong, and he was one major realm higher than her, so this woman would not stay. But it would be a pity if we were to forget each other in the martial arts world. Su Yuming could not forget the pair of slender white legs. I will go find her after I return from the Blackstone Ancient Domain. Shul just half a day after Su Yuming escaped from the cave, a beautiful figure wrapped in a cloak returned here. I never thought that practicing with him for 3 days would allow my body to completely enter the foundation building stage. Thinking of Su Yuming, some tenderness appeared in her eyes, but thinking of her own injuries, anger surged in her eyes again. Cloud Ranch, you dare to chase me, Then don't blame me for squatting in the wild to wait for you who are alone in the foundation building stage." She stared at the direction where Shui Yulong was going. "Is he going to the Blackstone ancient domain this time? I have a secret realm there that has not been developed, if it is possible." She raised her left arm, and under the sleeve, a hideous and terrifying ghost face was looming. "It's better for us not to get involved." Shui flying all the way back to Yandang Mountain, Shui Yulong hugged Shui Yulong after landing. "Yulong, sorry to have kept you waiting, husband. I have refined 1/3 of the pills you left for me. In order to prevent pill poisoning, I have been controlling my cultivation growth. But the efficacy of these pills is too strong. I feel that I can enter the 5th level of Qi Refining in 3 months at most. You are just a low-grade spiritual root of the 5 elements. It is naturally very good to cultivate so fast. Let's go back to the family first. Uncle 19, the 20 golden light-flowing flame talismans you gave me have all been sold, earning 22,000 spirit stones in exchange for 300 pieces of top-grade talisman materials and 100 pieces of second-grade talisman materials. Most of these talismans have been taken away by the 3rd-grade talisman sect. The local forces should have set their sights on our Sui family. Should I move my shop immediately? 2 hours later, you pack your bags, close the shop, and meet me at the entrance of the market. Yes, Uncle 19 Shui Yulong and Shui Yulong walked to the entrance of the market. The 2 black shadows hiding in the cloak behind them were the Jade Scepter Demon Puppet and the Red Jade Demon Puppet. Such a lineup can also intimidate those monks who are spying at the entrance of the market. Uncle 19, not long after, Yang Guangsu had walked over with 7 Qi Refining cultivators from the Sui family. This guy's face was filled with joy. "Let's set off now, Guangsu. I heard that you have broken through to the 1st level upper grade talisman master, thanks to the talisman making scripture left by Uncle 19 for guidance. Otherwise I wouldn't have been able to break through so quickly. Yes, after you break through, don't fall behind in cultivation, and enter the 9th level of Qi Refining as soon as possible. When I refine the best talismans in the future, you can watch by my side." "Yes, thank you Uncle 19, Yang Guangsu was immediately overjoyed. This was an invitation from a 2nd-grade talisman-making master. How rare. Shui Yulong casually released the 5 animals flying fire fan, which expanded in the wind and turned into a size of dozens of feet floating in the air, enough to accommodate several of them flying. As soon as he stood up, a 3-story ship flew over from above the forest in the distance. It was magnificent and magnificent. The gold, silver and jade ornaments hanging on it alone were priceless, not to mention the 2nd-level superior formation that protected the ship. Just floating in the air and allowing the foundation building cultivators to attack for an hour or 2, he was unharmed. Uncle 19, Yang Guangsu pointed at the word Fu hanging on the ship. "This should be the Laolan flying boat of the 3rd-level Fu sect." "No problem." Shui Yulong pressed his hand towards him, indicating that he could leave. But his fellow Taoist Sanju from the Sui family of Yandang Mountain here in person, more than a dozen figures walked out from the bow of the boat, led by 2 foundation building cultivators. An old man in a black robe bowed to Shui Yulong and said, "I am Heifu, the 3rd elder of the Sanpin Fu sect. May I ask where fellow Taoist is going?" "Of course I am taking my disciples back to the mountain. The Sanpin Fu sect has never had any dealings with the Sui family of Yandang Mountain." "Why are you driving a flying boat to block my way?" Ancestor Heifu sneered. "Fellow Taoist sold the golden light flowing flame talisman in the market a few days ago. But it disrupted the order of talismans in the market and greatly raised the market price from 600 or 700 spirit stones per talisman to 1,100 spirit stones per talisman. Fellow Taoist does this shady business. Don't you feel guilty in your heart?" Dao Heifu is wrong. Now the 5 Beast sect has issued a call for conscription. All forces within the territory of our Shanhai nation are within the call for conscription, and your 3rd-rank Fu sect is no exception. The prices of various war materials have skyrocketed, which can be seen everywhere in the local markets. Did your 3rd-rank Fu sect's shop increase prices? It's not fair to only target my Sui family's talisman shop. As he spoke, Shui Yulong glanced at the cultivators who were watching the show. "If the 3rd-rank Fu sect in charge of Bai Unfang wants to suppress my Sui family's talisman shop and wants to monopolize the sale of talismans in the market, then my Sui family will withdraw. We can't afford to provoke them, but we can afford to hide." This was a heart-piercing statement. If you drive away the Sui family's talisman shop today, you can drive away any other force or casual cultivator's shop in the market in the future. Who would dare to do business in Bai Unfang? When the face of the Black Fu patriarch turned black, a young foundation-building cultivator behind him had already stepped out. I heard that fellow Taoist Sanju has been ranked 98th on the Shanghai Region Foundation Establishment ranking. I happen to be ranked 99th. How about we have a sparring match? It can also be considered as a competition between our two families. Let's learn from each other about the practice of the Dao of Talismans. How do you think? Chapter 57, Fighting Fu? Easily defeating Zhuan Fuzi. It's Senior Zhuan Fuzi of the third rank Fu sect. It's Zhuan Fuzi who showed up. He was one of the 5 beauties of Baiyun in the early years, and he was as famous as the 4 sons of Yandang. I heard that Su Yuming was also one of the 4 sons of Yandang. This battle is really interesting. I didn't expect that they didn't meet in the Qi Refining realm, but could actually fight in the Foundation Establishment realm. Quick, immediately notify the family strongmen to come and watch the battle. No matter who wins or loses this battle, it is a collision between the 2 major foundation-building talisman forces in Tao County. I heard that Su Yuming is at least a first-rank top-rank talisman master, and his attainments in talisman must be not low. Senior Zhuan Fuzi has already entered the realm of a second-rank talisman master, and he must have mastered a second-rank talisman. When the cultivators around heard that there was a battle between the foundation-building geniuses, more and more people gathered. In a blink of an eye, at least 1,000 cultivators in Baiyunfang were flying in the air a few miles away, just to find the best position to witness this battle with their own eyes. What do you think, Brother Su? Do you dare to accept the fight? Zhuan Fuzi was very arrogant. I have only been practicing Taoism for 38 years, and I heard that Brother Su is already 54. Don't accuse me of bullying you. I only used talismans to attack. How about you use magic weapons? Since it is a fight, there must be some prizes. I heard that the third-grade Fu sect is not only good at making talismans, but also good at refining magic weapons and flying boats. How about I exchange the top-grade magic weapon, the ebony flying sword in Su's hand, for one of your top-grade flying boats? Sure. Zhuan Fuzi made a move of his hand and released a flying boat flashing with lightning. This is the purple lightning flying boat, which can travel 1,800 miles a day. It is my magic weapon. If you can defeat me, just take it. Swish swish. As soon as the words fell, the 2 of them had appeared above the forest dozens of miles in front of the market. Zhuan Fuzi grabbed with both hands, and 4 talismans appeared between his fingers. He threw them into the air casually, 4 talismans in front and 4 talismans in the back. They were lifted up by the strong wind and released dazzling flames in the air. After sweeping a radius of 10 feet, they were lifted up by the strong wind and instantly spread out 3 layers of fire waves, flying towards Su Yuming. This is my third-grade Fu Sect's triple fire wave talisman, which is a combination of 4 wind-pushing talismans and 4 sea of fire talismans. There are 8 top-grade talismans. Please appreciate them, Brother Su. To test, naturally, one must show one's own grace and attainments in making talismans, and overwhelm others with righteousness. He saw Su Yuming grab 2 inconspicuous talismans casually, and with a flick of his finger, one talisman had already interwoven a large spiritual power net in the air, instantly swallowing up all the flames in the air. On the other hand, Su Yuming on the opposite side only had his clothes lifted by the strong wind, and the second talisman on his fingertips had not yet been used. Zhuan Fuzi's face turned pale and blue. He played 8 talismans, and the other party used only 1. The difference was immediately determined. May I ask what this talisman is called? The Breaking Law Talisman. Zhuan Fuzi couldn't help but exclaimed, this thing is actually the lost Breaking Law Talisman in ancient times. This is one of the 3 forbidden talismans in the legend. Taoist friend, can you exchange the ebony flying sword in the bet for this thing? If I win, I want the method of practicing this thing. Since the bet has been decided, why should it be cancelled? If you want a Breaking Law Talisman, we can trade, Su Yuming said with a smile. Zhuan Fuzi immediately grinned, very good, then why don't you show me your self-created golden light flowing flame talisman, and I will show you my unique talisman. Su Yuming decisively took out 3 golden light flowing flame talismans and threw them into the air. Zhuan Fuzi on the opposite side had a gleam in his eyes, and he even slapped his storage bag and took out 3 talismans. Golden light flowing flame, huh? 3 golden lights were dazzling, and after flying 30 feet away, they were quickly wrapped in 5-colored beast fire. Under the flames, it was like 3 transformed flame dragons biting down fiercely at Zhuan Fuzi. Storm Sky Gang. With a loud shout, 3 storm tornadoes quickly condensed from around Zhuanfuzi. The tornadoes that soared into the sky were like a high-speed rotating hurricane barrier, blocking the golden light flowing flame technique tightly and even scattering all the flames in the sky. Brother Su, how about my Storm Heavenly Gang talisman? Excellent. Su Yuming smiled and waved the 5 animals flying fire fan. Huh? The flames that were originally scattered in the sky suddenly burst into flames, catching Zhuanfuzi off guard. He suddenly held up 3 Vajra indestructible talismans, and then he was able to protect himself steadily, but even so, he was still burned to ashes. Let's stop here. Brother Su's talisman realm is really an eye-opener for me. If it's just a competition of first-level talismans, I am not Brother Su's opponent. I wonder if Brother Su has broken through to the second-level talisman master. The third-level talisman master will lead the Blackstone Ancient Domain group. I want to compete with Brother Su in the second-level talisman battle again. Of course, I am polishing my second-level talisman. As long as the talisman is completed, I will definitely learn from Brother Zhuanfuzi. Su Yuming nodded slightly. Sure, the other party was quite generous, and directly threw the purple lightning flying boat to Su Yuming's feet. It instantly turned into 10-foot long, which was much better than his 5 animals flying fire fan for flying. Brother Su, are you willing to trade the method of refining the broken magic talisman to me? The third-grade Fuzong, Zhuanfuzi casually performed the cleaning technique and washed off the gray smoke on his body. He shook off his spiritual power, and the wet robe quickly became dry again. He stepped forward and asked, 1 middle-grade foundation building pill, or a middle-grade spiritual weapon, I will exchange it for you, Su Yuming said after a moment of silence. I don't have a middle-grade foundation building pill. The third-grade Fuzong, am willing to give you a low-grade grass foundation building pill and 30 Storm Heavenly Gang talismans. I wonder if Brother Su is willing to exchange 1 low-grade foundation building pill and a low-grade spiritual weapon. Su Yuming bit the price and refused to let go. Well, Zhuanfuzi sighed, and took out a fox-shaped jade hairpin from his storage bag and handed it over. This is the spring apricot hairpin I just got. It was made from a 1,000-year-old jade that I dug out from the apricot forest. It can warm the soul and nourish the spirit, and it can also defend against a full-strength sneak attack from the foundation building stage. I will give it to Brother Su today. Deal. After seeing the Black Fu Elder handing over a pill bottle, Su Yuming immediately rolled up his sleeves and put it into his stored ring. He clasped his fists towards the 2 of them. The clan has been waiting for me for a long time. My 2 Taoist friends, I will take my leave first. Zhuanfuzi also clasped his fists towards him. Brother Su, the journey is long and we will meet again in Tao County. Okay, swoosh. With a blessing of the golden sword technique, the purple lightning flying boat traveled 10 miles in an instant, and after a few takeoffs and landings, it had disappeared at the end of the sky. Its speed was already close to that of a cultivator who had reached the great perfection of the foundation building stage. It seems that Brother Su has not yet used his full strength in the battle with me. Zhuanfuzi was somewhat unwilling to be defeated, but he also knew that talismans were Su Yuming's minor skill, and his real fame was his talent in magic. When fighting with him today, Su Yuming did not use the cloud magic inherited from the Su family. Chapter 58 Return to Yandang Mountain, second-class top-grade alchemist Zhao Yandang. Feeling the lightning speed in the forest, Yang Guangsu was very excited. Uncle 19, your attainments in the art of talismans are so great that even Zhuanfuzi was defeated by you. Aren't you one of the most famous talisman makers in Tao County? It's not too late to say this after I refine the second-level talisman. Before I set out for the Blackstone Ancient Domain, I thought about leaving a few second-level talismans for the clan to deal with all kinds of variables. Uncle 19, how long can you use this golden sword technique now? I think we should call it the golden escape technique. You can actually make this purple lightning flying boat fly 2,000 miles in an hour. Even a cultivator who has reached the great perfection of foundation building can't be that fast. The escape speed of a purple mansion cultivator is only 500 to 1,600 miles. I have the blessing of a flying boat. Otherwise, why do you think the flying boat can be sold at such a sky-high price? Su Yuming grinned. This purple lightning flying boat is the natal flying boat of Zhuanfuzi. He has spent a lot of time on it. Even these 18 thunder stones cost at least thousands of spirit stones, and the selling price is more than 25,000 spirit stones. Swoosh. In just over an hour, Su Yuming drove the flying boat directly to Zujia town. The clan leader has returned to the mountain, With the confirmation of the cultivators below, Shui Yulong, the executive peak steward, immediately flew into the air and came forward with a dozen Qi refining cultivators to greet them. Welcome the clan leader back to the mountain, Yandang. I have been away for 10 days. Is there anything unusual in the clan? Reporting to the clan leader, there is nothing unusual in the clan. Even the Wong family of Red Crab Forest immediately announced a retreat after retreating in a panic. It seems that they suffered heavy losses after their family was robbed. Are the 100 Qi refining cultivators who will follow me to fight ready? Reporting to the clan leader, they are ready, and I am one of them. Shui Yulong took a look at the square-faced Shui Yulong. You are already at the 9th level of Qi refining. Not bad. In the future, when the clan gets a foundation establishment pill, you will have a share. Shui Yulong was immediately overjoyed. Uncle 19, now our ancestor's good friend, the alchemy elder of the Five Beasts sect, Senior Yandang, a second-level upper-grade alchemy master in the late stage of foundation establishment, is visiting the clan. Oh, Shui Yulong couldn't help but brighten up. Go to the treasury and get the ice and fire fruit immediately. I have harvested some spiritual herbs for refining foundation building pills on this trip. It seems that destiny is with my Sui family, allowing me to bring a transformation to the family before going to the Blackstone ancient domain. Yes, Shui Yulong was shocked. Uncle 19 actually found a batch of materials for refining foundation building pills. Doesn't it mean that within a short period of time, their Sui family can actually open 2 furnaces of foundation building pills? Even if the second furnace can produce 2 pills, Shui Yulong will have a good chance of obtaining them. Swoosh, Shui Yulong came all the way to the meeting hall. From now on, this place will be renamed Sanzhou Peak. And it also officially announced that the Sui family of Yandang Mountain has entered the Shui Yulong era. Junior Shui Yulong, I meet the ancestor Qionghe, I meet Senior Zhao, and I meet my second sister. After Shui Yulong landed, he saw Su Qionghe, Su Yuan, and Zhao Yandang sitting on the top of the peak drinking tea. Zhao Yandang is a kind old man, more than 120 years old. He has been friends with Su Qionghe for many years. Otherwise, it would be impossible for him to break through the second-level upper-grade alchemist when the Sui family was in turmoil, and take the risk to refine a furnace of foundation building pills for him. Yulong is back. Su Qionghe was overjoyed, pointing at Shui Yulong and introducing him. Brother Yandang, this is the most outstanding descendant of my Sui family. What do you think? The name of the 3 absolutes patriarch is also like thunder in my ears. He can see through the dead barrier at the age of more than 50, soar into the sky, and build a foundation from the 7th level of Qi refining. There is hope for the Purple Mansion Avenue in the future. Zhao Yandang stroked his beard with one hand. Brother Qionghe, your Sui family can prosper for another 100 years with a son. Ha ha ha. Shui Yulong took out the 100-year-old Huangxin grass, the 100-year-old Zesu grass, the 100-year-old Huoqi grass, and the 50-year-old purple monkey flower, and asked Shui Yulong to get 5 ice and fire fruits. This is something I accidentally obtained outside, and it can be used to make enough materials for a foundation building pill. Since Senior Yandang is here today, I would like to ask the senior to help me refine another furnace of foundation building pills for my Sui family. I can use this thing to pay for the senior's reward. After saying that, he took out 10 100-year-old acacia flowers. It's actually a 100-year-old acacia flower. This thing is the main ingredient for refining the second-grade lower-grade spiritual consciousness pill. My friend, I admit that you have moved me. Well, I agree to help your Sui family again. However, among the 5 beast sect cultivators who are going to train this time, there is my grandson Zhao Wangguang. If you meet him, please take care of him. It is as it should be. The senior is an old friend of the Qionghe ancestor, and the head of my Sui family. We younger generations should support each other. Well, Zhao Yandang nodded with satisfaction. My grandson established his foundation years ago, but he hasn't gone down the mountain to fight with others for a long time. This time he was chosen by drawing lots in the sect, but I am worried about him. I have some pills here. If you like them, are you willing to exchange them for some talismans for him to defend himself? Shui Yulong reached out to take the top-grade recovery pill he handed over. There were 10 pills in a bottle, and one pill could almost instantly restore 10% of his spiritual power. This is a good thing. It can save his life at a critical moment. This bottle is definitely worth more than 1,500 spirit stones. He casually took out 3 golden flaming talismans and handed them over. This is the golden flaming talisman I refined. I'll give it to you, senior. This golden flaming talisman is now worth 1,200 spirit stones on the market. This is a valuable gift, I can't accept it for nothing. After saying that, he flipped his hand and took out a thumb-sized pill. This is the 5-fold blood explosion pill, which can increase your spiritual power 5-fold within 100 breaths. It is for life-threatening situations, but you will fall into extreme weakness for the next few days. Swish, he took out another pill. This is the second-level inferior pill recovery pill. As the name suggests, it can restore 50% of your spiritual power in one breath, but it takes dozens of breaths. Thank you, Senior. Shui Yulong accepted them all, and then saw Yandang stand up. The pill will be ready within 10 days. Your Sui family will have a few more people who can build the foundation, and you can go to the Blackstone Ancient Domain with peace of mind. After letting Shui Yulong, the chief steward of the Law Enforcement Hall, the great-grandson of the ancestor of Qi, send Yandang to the Alchemy Peak for retreat, Shui Yulong took out the inferior grade foundation building pill that he had traded with a third-grade Fuzong. Foundation building pill. Su Qi and Shui Yulong looked at each other. Since you exchanged it from the third-grade Fu sect, you will be the one to decide how to distribute this foundation building pill. Shui Yulong looked back at Shui Yudang. Yudang, you are the first among the Yu generation to step into the 9th level of Qi refining. Now, there are cultivators from each generation of my Sui family, including the Qi, Lu, and Yu generations who have established foundations. You must break through the foundation as soon as possible so that 4 generations of my Sui family will have established foundations, and go with me to the Blackstone Ancient Domain. With your help and protection of the Qi refining cultivators in the clan, I can also kill the enemy with peace of mind. Yes, Shui Yudang nodded and was suddenly embarrassed. Uncle 19, my grandfather, don't worry, the second elder Su Longxiang and the third elder Su Laote. They performed well in the previous battle to protect the clan in Yandang Mountain. They will both get a foundation building pill after the furnace is opened, but from now on, I have set a rule that any peak Qi refining cultivator in the clan who wants to build a foundation must, in addition to handing over the family contribution, also purchase a foundation building opportunity to increase the success rate, otherwise he will not be able to get the foundation building pill. Seeing his embarrassment, Shui Yulong reached out and patted his shoulder. Of course. You can pay it back after building the foundation. How much you still owe, I will pay it for you. Thank you, Uncle 19. Shui Yudang was so excited that he almost cried. This is a series of twists and turns. It's Monday, and I will continue to ask for monthly tickets and recommendation tickets. On Tuesday, which is tomorrow, everyone remember to click on a follow-up reading, click on the chapter and take a look. The recommended resurrection is here, let's rush forward. And I will definitely add more chapters to repay you. Chapter 59 The Last Fight. The number of comments about this chapter has increased rapidly in the past few days, about 300 to 400, and more than half of them are scolding me. They are mainly focused on the point of giving Shui Yulong the foundation building pill, and the point of the guest official of Xianshu Pavilion. Shui Yulong is doomed to die, so don't think that the protagonist will let him go, or be a saint. As for giving him the foundation building pill, I would say that the low-grade foundation building pill is just a piece of trash, and in order to win this battle, he must be turned against. His deformed love with Zhongai was also a small design of Lao Zhu. One was kidnapped since childhood, and his temperament changed drastically after being insulted. The other is not as good as his peers in everything, and wants to become bigger and stronger after his parents died. Zhongai saved Shui Yulong, but it may be that Shui Yulong saved Zhongai. In the end, Zhongai detained Shui Yulong's soul, and it may be that she wanted him to become her immortal partner to test his sincerity to her. Shui Yulong was reluctant to be resurrected with a 7-leaf flower in the end, which also moved her. The two died together, and the bodies were voluntarily refined into puppets as the Sui family's heritage, and entrusted to the 19th brother Shui Yulong. I think there's nothing wrong with that. As for Xianshu Pavilion, first of all, the highest level of the Sui family is the top-grade talisman maker. The top-grade talisman making materials are limited, so they come out to cheat for food and drink. As for why the talismans of Xianshu Pavilion were so readily given to Shui Yulong who could run away at any time, during this period, the person sitting in Xianshu Pavilion was his old mistress Chu Hongxiu. And I can reveal that the shopkeeper of Xianshu Pavilion is the next head of the Chu family. Will he be simple, currently ranked 10th on the Xiangshan newcomer list and 62nd on the overall list? Not many people voted on Monday. Tomorrow, Tuesday, will decide whether this book can be resurrected. I will continue to recommend it. Please vote for the recommendation ticket and monthly ticket. Brothers who like it can also give a reward or something. Recently, my daughter is sick and stays up late every day. The update has been scheduled to the end of the month and will not be interrupted. I will try my best to write it well. Thank you to the brothers who have voted in the past few days. From the few fans when I posted a single chapter last time to the 30 fans now, thanks to your support, I will keep writing. Thank you, and bow down to you. Chapter 60 Shui Yulong builds his foundation and masters the foundation building magic, seeking follow-up reading. 19th Brother, we have to gather in Tao County for this expedition to the Blackstone Ancient Domain. After discussing with my ancestor, we originally planned to mobilize the previous family head, or I would help you and send out 2 foundation building masters to support you. I never thought that you have thought it through and let Yudang help you. Shui Yulong handed over a piece of white paper. This is the list of people I have drawn up for the expedition, 3 people at the 8th level of Qi Refining. The chief steward of the Law Enforcement Hall, Shui Yulong, is the descendant of Patriarch Qionghe. The chief steward of the God of War Hall, Shui Yulong, is the direct descendant of Patriarch Changfeng. The chief steward of the Library Pavilion, Shui Yumeng, is the direct descendant of Patriarch Tulong. 5 people at the 7th level of Qi Refining, namely, Yang Guangsu, a first-class top-grade talisman master, Chang Leichen, a first-class top-grade alchemist, and Zhang Xiaokong, a first-class top-grade weapon refiner. These 3 are responsible for making talismans to defend against enemies and protect themselves, refining pills to replenish Qi and restore blood, and refining weapons to repair wear and tear. There is also Shui Yulong, the chief steward of the Tao County grocery store. He is the descendant of the previous elder and was recommended by the previous elder. Let's follow his wish. Before he passed away, he also wanted to see his children and grandchildren take up the responsibility for the family. The last person is my cousin He Ruoying. There are only 5 cultivators left in the He family who are sheltered by my Su family. She took the initiative to ask for the battle. I hope my 19th brother will take care of her for my sake. Shui Yulong nodded slightly. After Shui Yulong, the chief steward of the library, went to the battle. Who will take over the library? My 4th son Sui Yandang of Yandang has broken through the peak of the 7th level of Qi Refining and can enter the 8th level of Qi Refining at any time. The ancestor asked him to go to the library to study the magic of various families in peace and prepare to hone him. In addition, as for the 9th level of Qi Refining, if the 3 members of my Su family are currently preparing to build their foundation, there will be no one for the time being. I hope that the 3 people who follow you to the battle can make a breakthrough in the battle. As for the remaining 92 Qi Refining cultivators, the weakest one should be Su Si, who is at the 3rd level of Qi Refining under your command. The rest are almost all the elite of the clansmen in the battle hall, the Standing Peak, and the Foreign Affairs Peak, and most of them are at the 4th or 5th level of Qi Refining. Finally, we plan to let you carry the 2nd Great Superior Sword Energy Evil Slaying formation, with the clan members setting up the formation, and you carrying the formation flag, which is enough to exert a combat power comparable to the late stage of foundation building, and it can be guaranteed to be foolproof. Shui Yulong nodded, then released the 2 demon puppets with a wave of his hand. Shui Yulong sighed, looking at Sui Yugi's calm face with a complicated expression. After listening to Sui Yulong's words about what they did before their death, she also forgave Sui Yugi's treasonous behavior. Since they asked for it themselves, let them follow you, Yulong. I will feel more at ease with them protecting you in front of your purple mansion. The ancestor of Qionghe smiled with relief. You have such a trump card, which is rare in the foundation building. Perhaps you can gain something in this battle. I don't have high expectations of you. Just protect the clan members, complete the mission of the 5 Beast sect, and return safely. By the way, as the head of the family, do you have any new instructions for the clan? Of course, Shui Yulong nodded. After I leave, it is necessary to immediately issue rewards to encourage childbirth. My Su family has been entrenched in Yandang Mountain for more than 600 years. There are 600 cultivators and 150,000 clan members, which is too few. If possible, we can recruit guest officials from outside, recruit other family forces and independent cultivators to join my Su family camp. After I return, I will set up a deacon hall, hire foreign cultivators, join the deacon hall, and become the backbone of my Su family's God of War hall to go out to fight. You can use the banner of my breakthrough to become a second-rank talisman maker. I think the Golden Light Flowing Flame Talisman and the Breaking Law Talisman are still very attractive to talisman masters all over the world. In addition, the clan promises to prepare at least one foundation building pill for any cultivator who enters the 9th level of Qi Refining. For any child born with spiritual roots, the parents will be provided with food and clothing by the clan until the end of their lifespan. In the future, the clan can focus on the art of talismans, with my second sister and I guiding them. Now that Yang Guangsu has also broken through to become a top-grade talisman maker, the clan's art of talismans should be passed down and paved by our ancestors, supplemented with refining tools. After all, my 7th brother has already broken through to become a second-rank tool refiner. After speaking, Sui Yulong flipped his hand and took out the 1 piece of top-grade Crab King Spirit Wood and 6 pieces of top-grade Crab King Spirit Wood. These 7 spiritual materials can be used to refine multiple magic tools. Give them priority to the cultivators in the clan who have successfully built their foundation this time. Sui Yulong took it with a smile. Yulong, you have just broken through and brought so many opportunities to the clan. We are really ashamed. Don't worry, I have recently observed your experience in making talismans and have learned something. I can't make other talismans in the clan, but I have hoped to try the Cloud Mist Incarnation Talisman and the Vajra Indestructible Talisman. Well, then I will go back to retreat with my Taoist partner, and see you after the elixir is completed. After saying that, Sui Yulong stepped on the purple lightning flying boat, and at a lightning speed, he had already landed in front of the Sanju cave. He hugged Shui Yulong in front of the door and rushed to the cave. My wife, before going to the Blackstone Ancient Domain, your husband must feed you first. 7 days were about to pass, and Sui Yulong was meditating and studying the foundation-building magic of the Earth Dragon moving mountains. Ha ha ha! With a joyful cry, an amazing spiritual consciousness instantly rose from the back mountain, spreading out for 30 or 40 miles, and then quickly recovered. And then a cloud of spiritual energy several miles in size hovered directly above the secret room in the back mountain. Sui Yulong couldn't help but brighten up. It seems that Yu Tang has established his foundation. Then the foundation-building magic trick that had trapped him for a long time finally opened at this moment. He slapped his hands on the ground, and the Sanju Cave mansion originally located on Qixi Peak actually appeared behind the Sanju Peak, which was dozens of miles away, before his spiritual power was exhausted. Is this the Earth Dragon moving mountain technique? How magical! Sui Yulong showed a look of amazement. Although it was performed by relying on the Earth Dragon drill, a mid-grade spiritual weapon, this thing can move a cave, which means it can move a mineral vein, and even when he breaks through the purple mansion, it can move a mountain. No wonder my Yandang Mountain was bare in the past, and Yanluo Peak was the main peak. Too long Sanren was able to move Qixi Peak here as the ancestral land of my Su family. I didn't expect that he actually mastered this shocking foundation-building magic. In addition to moving the terrain, it can also instantly move 100,000 kilograms of rocks to attack the enemy. If I use this method while chasing the enemy in the Earth Escape, who can block this attack? Sui Yulong couldn't help but be shocked. This move allowed him to truly have the ability to escape from the foundation-building Great Perfection Cultivator. And this is not over yet. Before he found that the last chance accumulated by Zhuanang Dharma Body disappeared, he had been practicing the Yellow Sky Crab Sutra and it was instantly perfected. He refined a pair of top-grade magic crab jade arm guards into his arms and slapped his hands forward. The giant hand covering the sky with dozens of feet slammed down on the rocks in the distance. The sky collapsed, and the rolling stones drove countless mud and sand, burying the valley below the slope. Ho ha! Sui Yulong laughed out loud. The top-grade magic spell, the Wang Xiangxi Jade Hand, that he had been coveting was finally successful. Chapter 61, Skilled and Daring, heading to the Cloud Ranch, seeking follow-up reading. Sui Yulong still had 300 pieces of top-grade talisman materials and 100 pieces of second-level talisman materials in his hand. He decided to complete the talismans in his hand first. After the continuous fierce battles, he left talismans for the family. In addition to the 15 pieces of Golden Light Flowing Flame Talisman, all other talismans have been taken out. I don't know when I can have a younger family member to share 1 or 2 with me. Sui Yulong made talismans very quickly. Almost when the family had 10 days left to set off, the 300 pieces of top-grade talisman materials in front of him had turned into 20 magic-breaking talismans, 20 formation-breaking talismans, 10 delusion-breaking talismans, 40 golden light flowing flame talismans, 20 Cloud and Mist Escape Talismans, and 20 Cloud and Mist Incarnation Talismans. 300 points of materials have made 140 talismans, and the success rate of 46% is not bad. As for the second level talismans, he also got 33 forbidden breaking talismans. If he fights Zhuan Fuzi next time, he will have a trump card. The forbidden breaking talisman is a combination of 3 breakings, and it has infinite uses in fighting. It's a pity that I can't refine the Earth Dragon Drill Zone Sky Collapse and Earth Cracking, Earth Dragon Displacement, and Earth Dragon Moving Mountain skills. Otherwise, my Earth method can be called the best among the foundation building in the mountain and sea areas. This time, Su Yuming thought about the wonderful uses of the Zhuanyang Dharma body. The next time he opened it, he must specialize in these 3 Earth methods and practice one of his specialties to the extreme. He stood up and glanced at Shui Yulong, who was sleeping soundly. These days, she slept longer. Diligence can make up for lack of talent. 1062, 5000, a flash of inspiration. 562 1000, Zhuanyang Dharma body, 2/3, let's go to the Cloud Ranch now and untie Yulong's knot. It only takes me half a day to go back and forth. If I meet a cultivator who has reached the great perfection of foundation building, I will return now. After saying this, Su Yuming still held a drop of life essence blood and a token with the word, water, prepared for him by Shui Yulong in his hand. It was obviously a token of inheritance from their family. Shui stepped on the ground and performed the Earth Dragon movement technique. After several times, he appeared outside Yandang Mountain. After releasing the purple lightning flying bolt in the wild, Su Yuming had already approached the Cloud Ranch in just a few hours. The Cloud Ranch is located in a cloud and mist, surrounded by a natural cloud and mist formation. It is a good place for me to enter and exit freely. Shui taking out a second level forbidden breaking talisman, Su Yuming quietly sneaked into the formation space and used the earth escape technique to slowly move towards the top of the mountain. Have you heard? Recently, my Yandang ranch has been attacked many times. 1 foundation building elder died, and 2 elders who had just established their foundation were injured. It was that female devil who attacked, right? I didn't expect that she could actually save her life from the hands of the Great Manor Master that day. Our Great Manor Master is a second step sword cultivator, most likely. The fox demon Xingzilin took the blame and she escaped. I didn't expect that this female cultivator was actually a physical cultivator. Our elders who were in the early stage of foundation building fought with her, but they were busy fighting with magic weapons. She got close to them and slapped them into meat paste with 1 palm. They died miserably. Shut up. Although he's dead, the younger generation is still here. If they hear you and I gossip, we will be dead. Hearing the 2 disciples patrolling the mountain muttering like this, Su Yuming's face suddenly showed joy. It's probably Yu Iao who made the move, but she's too bold. Yang Beimei is at the late stage of foundation building, with a second step of swordsmanship, comparable to the great perfection of foundation building. If he meets him, it will be a big deal. Therefore, he had to take the initiative to make a big noise when she was discovered. Su Yuming thought to himself, and he had already revealed his figure near the top of the mountain, and then took the initiative to cast the Cloud and Mist Incarnation Talisman, leaving a cloud and mist figure on the spot. With a mountain wind blowing, it quickly dissipated, and it had already soared up 1,000 feet and quickly merged into the rolling clouds and mist. Without casting the Cloud and Mist escape technique, he could also rely on the Yandang Cloud Qi to fly freely in the air, and the Zunai boots on his feet could provide him with stability. Su Yuming ascended to a height of 2,000 feet, flew over the endless sea of clouds in the Cloud Ranch, and saw that everything in front of him was white fog. Then he took out Shui Yulong's blood essence and the water token. Pop! When the blood essence appeared above the sea of clouds, a huge creature that seemed to be sleeping peacefully in the depths of the white clouds suddenly opened its eyes. The Shui family actually still has Qi refiners alive. The taste of this blood seems to be Xiao Yulong. Its huge body rolled, and the clouds and fog within a radius of dozens of miles spread in all directions. It began to swim, and thousands of clouds and fog seemed to gather under its 4 claws, carrying it to the clouds and fog, and swimming towards the sea of clouds. Shui at the same time, in an underground secret room in the Cloud Ranch, Yang Beimei suddenly opened his eyes. Why did this big guy wake up? Since the demise of the Shui family, we have been unable to capture it, and it has never shown itself. Could it be that a descendant of the Shui family sneaked into my Cloud Ranch and was discovered by it? Shui Yangbei appeared on the vast grassland of the Cloud Ranch in an instant, looking up at the sea of clouds above the 9 heavens. No matter what, you, the killing horse, can't think of getting away today. If I can cut off some blood from this kind of auspicious beast given by heaven, it will be enough for me to live another 10 to 20 years and break through the purple mansion realm. He instantly soared into the sky hundreds of feet high, and in the blink of an eye he went deep into the sea of clouds. While Su Yuming was floating in the air, the thick fog in front of him suddenly rolled up dozens of feet high. Such a big movement immediately alerted him. In the endless thick fog, 2 pupils as big as mountains suddenly appeared. "Where did you get the Shui family token?" A voice like a huge bell exploded in his ears. "Shui Yulong, a female cultivator from the Shui family, is my wife. This is her life essence in blood, as well as the marriage certificate that we made a vow to the heavenly Dao." As he spoke, Su Yuming handed over a marriage certificate interwoven with the power of the heavenly Dao. The bronze-made marriage certificate was not a magical instrument, but it had a special texture. As long as a cultivator entered the Dao, he could tell the authenticity at a glance. The marriage certificate fell lightly into the mist and floated back in an instant. "Why didn't she come? My cultivation is too low to come. After all, there are battle forces comparable to the great perfection of Foundation establishment in this Cloud Ranch. It's okay for the junior to come alone, but it's difficult to protect her. You are honest." In the mist, the huge spiritual consciousness suddenly became sharp. "The man you are afraid of is here. Do you dare to kill him with me?" Su Yuming turned around and looked at the sea of clouds, and saw a sword light falling dozens of feet away. The one who came with a sword in hand was not Yangbei. Who else could it be? "Since it is what the senior wishes, I will dare to join forces with you." Su Yuming knew that the cloud beast killing horse would definitely not harm him. He was not afraid to fight with Yangbei. As long as the opponent was not a cultivator who had reached the great perfection of the foundation building stage and possessed the 3rd level spiritual consciousness or the purple mansion spiritual sea, he could still fight with him. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 62, Cloud Beast Territory. Fighting Yangbei alone. Then you should go all out. I will help you, huh? The clouds and mists rolled in from all around, and in a flash they all poured into Su Yuming's surroundings. He felt that these clouds and mists were very friendly. When he waved his hand, clouds and mists for 10 miles followed him. He thought and found that after his spiritual consciousness dissipated, it could actually cover the sea of clouds for 1,000 miles. He couldn't help but be surprised. He was afraid that he had already reached the spiritual consciousness realm of the peak of the Purple Mansion. How did he do this? This is my cloud beast domain. I am a creature born in the sea of clouds and also a darling of the clouds. I can prolong my life. The cloud and mist domain are my 2 special abilities. Su Family Jr., the ancestor of your Su family who created the Yandang Cloud Qiju was called Yandang Zhenren, right? He has also been to this sea of clouds. Su Yuming was shocked. It turned out that the inherited skills of his Su family were actually obtained from this sea of clouds. There are many extremely powerful cloud beasts in the depths of the sea of clouds. The 3,000 feet below is my territory. Just fight. If you can cultivate your Yandang Cloud Qiju to perfection, the sword cultivator on the opposite side will not be able to escape from you. Su Yuming turned around and faced Yangbei. I didn't expect that there were still remnants of the Shui family here. Well, you helped me capture this cloud beast killing horse, and from now on you will be a guest elder of my Cloud Ranch. I can also give you a share of this killing horse blood. What do you think? Yangbei didn't even look at him straight. I have heard for a long time that Yangbei, the owner of Cloud Ranch, has a white cloud sword energy, looks down on Tao County, is invincible, and has the combat power of the great perfection of foundation building. I wonder if you and I can fight in this sea of clouds today. Su Yuming smiled with narrowed eyes. You are just an early stage of foundation building, and you dare to stop me? Yangbei snorted coldly. I don't have time to tangle with you here. If the cloud beast hides in the sky again, Yangbei dare not chase it. He casually slashed down with a sword light, and the 100-foot sword aura instantly split the endless clouds and mist and attacked Su Yuming. Su Yuming's figure was shattered by his blow, but what was shattered was not his flesh and blood body, but a cloud of mist. Cloud and mist body skills. Yang Beimei was shocked. What body skills could avoid his lightning-fast sword energy? His white cloud sword energy was realized on this sea of clouds. Fighting in the sea of clouds should complement each other. I don't care what you are doing, get out of here. He turned his wrist, and the sword light in the sky tore through the clouds. He stepped on the ground and rushed forward for more than 10 miles. All the clouds along the way were completely cut by the sword energy. This is the violent way of fighting. The cloud beast killing horse, which had retreated dozens of miles, used its eyes to look at Shui Yulong hiding in the clouds in the air. Son-in-law of the Shui family, I know your intention, but you want to take me away. I'm afraid you can't do it now. Once I am born, I will be the target of public criticism. The Shui family is too weak to protect me. It's better to live another 1,000 years in this sea of clouds. Just as it was sighing, two black shadows suddenly attacked Yang Beimei in the clouds. Spirit crab double slash, two arcs of light accompanied the crab claws. Yang Beimei's face changed drastically. Two late-stage foundation building cultivators, Dang Dang, a spiritual weapon longsword in his hand, intercepted left and right. After 2 consecutive fights, he was surrounded and attacked by 2 demon puppets, and Shui Yulong, who was far away in the clouds, had already appeared behind him silently. Foundation building spiritual technique, earth dragon moving mountain technique. Clang, Yang Beimei slashed out with a sword, opening a hideous hole in the second-level crab shell on the red jade demon puppet, and directly across the chest, revealing the rotten flesh inside. Puppet, Yang Beimei was shocked and was hit on the back by the jade scepter demon puppet behind him. He flew backwards hundreds of feet away. If it weren't for the flying carpet that suddenly appeared under his feet, he would have fallen to the ground. But even so, he was hit on the back by the jade scepter demon puppet with a strength of 100,000 jin. He reached out and touched the back, and found that the flesh and blood behind him was already a mess, and the fragments of the protective spiritual weapon armor appeared in his palm. It's a close call. If it weren't for the spiritual weapon armor, I would have been killed by a single blow. The moment his face turned ugly, it seemed that a white crane spread its wings between the clouds and mist. The moment his pupils shrank slightly, his brain suddenly fainted for a moment. Not good. Spiritual attack secret technique. Buzz, the sword talisman that protected his Nuan palace shattered instantly, saving his life. But then came a hand several dozen feet long that instantly fell. Wang Xiangxi jade hand, are you a cultivator from the Wang family of Red Crab Forest? His face changed drastically, and the moment he swung his sword to cut it down, 2 demon puppets had already come to him. Sword Qi is like a rainbow, white clouds are floating in the sky for thousands of years. He did not hesitate to use the sword technique he had learned after entering the realm of Sword Qi. Like a rainbow, endless clouds and mist all gathered under his sword. The moment the 2 demon puppets were caught in it, they were directly pierced by a sword rainbow over 100 feet, and flew backwards like kites in embarrassment. Roar, but in an instant, a bloody mouth suddenly opened under his body. Under the clouds and mist of dozens of miles, there was a terrifying beast with a sheep's head, wolf hooves, deer antlers, and fish scales. It grabbed his lower body in one bite and bit it with its ferocious teeth and swung it. Cracky only felt that the bones in his lower body were completely shattered. Die, he thrust his sword at the cloud beast killing horse that was biting him, stabbing it into its left eye. The moment blood splashed, his aura dropped sharply. Boy, what are you waiting for? As the cloud beast killing horse roared like a morning bell, Shui Yulong's figure appeared in front of Yang Beimei with a cloud of mist. The bronze bagua sword in his hand fell, and a big head stared unwillingly in the air. After staring at him for a few times, Shui Yulong reached out and grabbed it in his palm. Whoosh! The cloud beast killing horse, which had lost half of its body, opened its mouth and bit it directly. Crack! The watermelon-sized head shattered instantly, and red and white splash all over. Shui Yulong did not dodge, and a lot of blood was also splashed on his body. When he looked back at the cloud beast killing horse, the hostility and murderous intent in the eyes of this big guy were quickly restrained. Last year, the Shui family was destroyed. This Yang Beimei was one of the people behind the scenes, as well as the Taoist Red Gourd. You must be especially careful. After saying that, the huge cloud beast killing horse, which was dozens of miles in size, collapsed, and its flesh and blood turned into a cloud of smoke, which quickly flowed into his right arm. In a flash, a killing head mark was left on his forearm. I was able to escape from the hands of 2 great foundation building warriors in my early years, but I am now exhausted. In today's battle, You help me get revenge, and then it depends on whether you can raise the second life of the cloud beast killing horse. This old guy is good at swordsmanship. If you can learn it, you can also increase your combat power a little bit. The way of clouds and mist is invincible in saving lives, but the way of attacking and killing is still lacking. This is also the reason why the Shui family boy and your Su family ancestors have not been able to make further progress. Remember, feeling the sudden dissipation of a powerful spiritual consciousness, Su Yuming couldn't help feeling sad. He reached out and stroked the Qi Refinement mark on his forearm. Don't worry, senior. If there's a chance, I will help you live a second life. After saying that, he casually rolled up the half of the body on the ground, and took away the sword ring and robes. A second step sword cultivator, a foundation building great perfection combat power, and the leader of a faction. He must have a lot of good things on him. Thank you for the 100-point reward support from Taoist friend Sui Meng Xianqi. Thank you. Chapter 63 Fairy, you don't want others to know about your theft, right? The top-grade spiritual weapon, the Cloud Wind Sword, is his natal sword and the key to his mastery of the White Cloud Sword Key. It comes with a foundation-building spell, the Cloud Wind Invisible. Is this a sword technique? A smaller Songfeng sword, a top-grade magic weapon, should be a substitute for the Cloud Wind Sword. After all, when instructing disciples on weekdays, you can't cheat them with a top-grade spiritual weapon. White Cloud Sword Classic? Is this the old man Yang Baimei's own cultivation method, or is it self-created? Su Yuming flipped his hand to open it and saw a few poems inside. The Yellow Crane Tower is 3,000 feet high, the white clouds are empty for thousands of years, a sword clearly shows thousands of flowers, the sword falls on the fragrant grass and the Parrot Island, the sunset is over the hometown, and the white clouds are sad. These correspond to the 5 steps of the sword path, namely, the sword energy becomes a gang, the sword energy is like a rainbow, the sword light is divided into rainbows, the sword is refined into silk, and the sword is united. I'm afraid you need to comprehend the sword meaning before you can get started. The White Cloud Sword Cannon that points directly to the 5th step of the sword path must be a sword technique that can only be created by the Yuanying Sword Lord. Yang Baimei, this old guy, did not practice to the extreme before coming out into the world, punching the 5 mountains of Baiyun, kicking the 6 mountains of Yandang, ruling Tao County, and competing for the top of the mountain and sea areas, causing trouble everywhere. Su Yuming checked his storage ring, and there were actually 160,000 spirit stones in it, and he also found more than 30 fist-sized top-grade spirit stones. Wow, this is the high-grade spirit stone used by the Purple Mansion cultivators. Did this kid dig up this second-level spirit vein at the foot of the Cloud Ranch? He casually took the broken low-grade spirit weapon armor in his hand and shook his head. His back was almost completely blown up by the 100,000 Jin punch of the demon puppet, and it was difficult to repair. As for the top-grade light wind robe, it helps to fly. He can dye it, wash off the blood stains, sew it, and keep it for himself. What is this? Su Yuming flipped his hand and picked up a wooden sign, feeling the sharp sword marks on it. Just to glance at it, his spiritual consciousness comparable to the late stage of foundation building was severely damaged, and then he sat cross-legged in the clouds, unable to wake up for a long time. The Golden Eagle breaking illusion technique that had trapped him for a long time was also mastered silently. 2 bright golden lights directly penetrated the 10-mile cloud and mist, allowing him to look at the way back to the Cloud Ranch. Moreover, he raised his arm and pointed out with one finger. He, who had originally made no achievements in the sword, actually comprehended a trace of sword intent. He pulled the bronze Bagua sword with one hand, and the flying sword turned in the air, continuously slashing out sword energy. Although he had not yet explored the realm of sword energy into gang, each sword energy slash down was 10 feet long, and the power was already incomparable to the previous one. My golden swordsmanship can increase the power of fighting. If I want to practice swordsmanship, Cloud and Golden Light may be 2 swordsmanships I can open up. Su Yuming turned the wooden sign over and saw a word sword engraved on it. He frowned immediately. Could it be the token of a sword cultivation sect in the outside world? This Yang Baimei, could it be that he has other origins? He thought for a while, put the wooden sign away, stepped on the ground, and walked down the cloud wearing Yang Baimei's robe. When he fell to the peak, Yang Baimei's headless body had already fallen into the mountains. God damn it, who killed the master of the manor? Immediately block the cloud pasture and find the murderer, notify all elders immediately. The villain may still be on the cloud and has not escaped. Fires broke out in the mountains, and countless cultivators drove the streamers to chase after him. A sneaky figure was jumping down from the cliff, her robe was inflated by the mountain peak, and she had slipped to the foot of the cloud ranch in an instant. Huh? I finally didn't get discovered. My animal skin storage bag can hold treasures of 10,000 cubic meters. Now the cloud ranch has been wiped out by me, but there is no second level forbidden talisman left. I have to find that enemy. Crack. A branch was suddenly stepped on and broken in the forest ahead. She was like a wildcat with its fur blown up, and she was alert instantly. As she spoke, her left hand touched the fox fur sachet on her waist. Seeing that the situation was not right, she was about to release the fox demon stench and escape. This trick was very useful. Yagbama chased her 3 times, but was blocked by the fox demon stench that could cover the perception of spiritual consciousness, allowing her to escape. This fairy, in the middle of the night, sneaking down from the cloud ranch, "Are you doing that theft?" A hoarse voice came from the forest, and a slender monk, covered in blood, walked towards her. "Who are you?" Sensing that the other party's breath was only in the early stage of foundation building, she relaxed a lot. At least she didn't have to run for her life. "Fairy, you don't want others to know about your theft. Why don't you sacrifice your looks? As long as you make me feel comfortable, no one will know about it." Seeing that he didn't stop, Wang Yuiao saw through something strange. "Friend Su." Su Yuming took a step closer, waved his hand to open her blocking arm, and squatted down directly. One hand passed over her knees, lifted her up on his shoulders, aimed at the most fleshy part, and slapped her. "What are you doing?" Wang Yuiao said angrily with a shy face. "You left without saying goodbye that day, fellow Taoist Wang. That wasn't fair." After saying that, Su Yuming stepped on the purple lightning flying boat and took her to the distant mountains and forests. "Hey, let me down. What are you going to do? Your second level forbidden breaking talisman has been used up. Fellow Taoist, if you can do me a favor, I will give you 10. How about it?" Wang Yuiao struggled for a few times, feeling the masculine breath emanating from Su Yuming's neck, her whole body limp. "You scoundrel, you and I just met by chance, and you did that evil thing to me, and you still want to blame me for it. I want that second level forbidden breaking talisman, which can be exchanged for cultivation resources. I just robbed the treasury and medicinal fields of Yandang Ranch. Don't touch me, everyone who sees it has a share. How about I give you a 10th? Not good, not good." Su Yuming performed the Earth Dragon movement technique and appeared between a cliff near the apricot forest. With a wave of his hand, he opened up a stone cave of dozens of feet, then spread the ground with red silk and pushed Wang Yuiao up. "You are so cunning now. I suspect that you are possessed by that vixen. I have to check it carefully." Wang Yuiao pouted and wanted to push him away, but when her palm touched Su Yuming's shoulder, she had no strength. She simply closed her eyes, her body trembled slightly, and even her eyelashes were jumping. "You, don't mess around. I am a foundation-building body cultivator. Your body can't stand it, it doesn't matter. I just learned the White Cloud Sword Classic. Watch me cut through thousands of trees with one sword." The Earth Dragon rolled, and the cliff that had stood for billions of years collapsed today. The earth cracked, the birds spread their wings and flew away in panic, and the beasts ran out of the dense forest, as if they were frightened. Chapter 64, New Marriage, Me and My Old Lover's Niece. Diligence can make up for lack of talent. 1200, 5000, A Flash of Inspiration, 700/1000, Zhuanyang Dharma Body, 2/3. For 7 days in a row, Su Yuming held Wang Yuiao in his arms and refused to leave. Wang Yuiao was reserved at first, but later, she felt that this broad embrace was too warm and was reluctant to leave. After 20 years of wandering, after her master left, she had been almost alone for the past 10 years. Deep in her heart, she still wanted a shoulder. "How about going back to the Su family in Yandang Mountain with me?" Su Yuming stroked her 3,000 black hair and asked softly. "I'm used to being away from home. If I go back, will your family be able to feel at ease?" Facing her playful eyes, Su Yuming couldn't help but push her against the wall in the cave. "Don't be afraid, you know how powerful I am." Tisk. Wang Yuiao handed over a book of her own practice. "This is the indestructible body of Vajra. You are good at talismans. You can use the Vajra talisman and the Vajra indestructible talisman to polish you, and you will soon reach the level of top-grade magic tools." Su Yuming turned over and put her down. "We'll talk about the Vajra indestructible later. You're leaving me again?" and it's a long way to see you again. I have to be more gentle with you." Wang Yuiao was moved by the sincerity in Su Yuming's eyes and nodded shyly. Yeah, after many storms and many loves, Su Yuming was awakened by the sound transmission Jade Talisman. "Yuming, there is a change in the Cloud Ranch. The 5 beast sects and voice have come out to suppress it. Otherwise, the Taoist tradition of the past few hundred years would be ruined. Where are you? Return to the mountain quickly. My Su family's army is about to set out for Tao County. The ancestor has arranged a marriage for you just in case." Su Yuming looked at his empty arms. The fragrance was still there, but the beauty was gone. Obviously, Wang Yuiao, a child of the giant Hu, would not say goodbye. "You actually arranged a marriage for me. Whose family is it? Now I am also a foundation-building ancestor, a prodigy on the foundation-building list. Could it be that you want a cultivator to be my concubine?" Su Yuming casually grabbed the storage bag left by Wang Yuiao, picked it up and took a look. The 100 cubic meters of space was filled with herbs and pill bottles. 100-year-old verbena, this thing is a good thing for raising spirit horses. There are a total of 1,000 plants, worth more than 30,000 spirit stones. 9-turn pill, this is a second-level lower-grade pill. It can store 9 drops of foundation-building spirit liquid in the body. When the spirit power in the danshan is exhausted, it can also burst out 9 times of bottom-up counterattack spirit power. It is very useful between life and death. Because of the magic of the 9 twists and turns, it is named 9-turn pill. This pill is worth at least 3,000 spirit stones, almost 100 bottles of high-grade Qi recovering pills. There are also 10 bottles of top-grade beast blood pills. This thing is also a good thing for replenishing Qi and blood. As for some beast nature that comes with it occasionally, for a cultivator like me with strong spiritual awareness, it can be suppressed at will. She said that she would only give me 10% of the benefit, and there are so many. The heritage of this cloud ranch is really profound. The Vajra indestructible body she cultivates should also be very resource intensive. The first layer of copper skin and iron bones, the second layer of Vajra power, the third layer of Vajra indestructibility, and the fourth layer of leopard embryo thunder sound can be considered as the foundation of physical cultivation. This should be considered a method of foundation building body cultivation. If I encounter subsequent exercises or other physical cultivation methods in the future, I will have to pay attention to her. Swish. Su Yuming piloted the purple lightning flying boat and flew above the sky in an instant, getting closer and closer to Yandang Mountain, and news gradually came over. Shui Yulong, 19th brother, Chu Hongxiu doesn't want to marry you, saying that you already have a Taoist partner, so the one you're marrying this time is Chu Qinglun, one of the 4 Yandang sons of the new generation of the Chu family. She has already reached the 7th level of Qi Refining, and has both wood and fire spiritual roots of the middle grade. The ancestor values her as a top-grade alchemist, and she even refined a furnace of Qi gathering powder a few days ago. If it weren't for the fact that you easily defeated Zhuan Fuzi with the talisman method and ranked 87th on the Mountain and Sea Region Foundation establishment list, the Chu family would not be happy. One of the 4 Yandang sons? Su Yuming looked at him for a long time. The 4 Yandang sons in this area, in addition to Su Yandang of their Su family, Yang Chuang of Dayan Peak's Fiery Blade, Chu Qinglun of Xianshu Pavilion, there is also Guyu of Skull Mountain. It seems that this time it is not just a battle between us cultivators on the foundation building list, but also a great opportunity for the younger generation to train. Isn't it a bit inhumane for the ancestor to put Yan Bing in confinement? Yang Guangsu, Uncle 19, I have broken through the 8th level of Qi Refining and was appointed as the captain of the 10 teams of Qi Refining disciples. To arrange your marriage, the ancestor decided to hold the wedding at dusk tomorrow, because Aunt 19 didn't have a big ceremony when she got married, so everything was kept simple, but there will definitely be foundation building cultivators from Xianshu Pavilion. The leader of the expedition to the Blackstone Ancient Domain is Senior Chu Hongxiu of the Chu family. Su Yuming's expression was a little strange. He had talked about marriage with Chu Hongxiu back then, and now he married Chu Qinglun. How should the two communicate in the future? Is this Chu Qinglun a junior of Chu Hongxiu? Uncle 19, Chu Qinglun is the most outstanding junior of the younger generation of the Chu family. According to seniority, she is Chu Hongxiu's niece, but the Chu family has been multiplying for more than 400 years, and has long been out of 5 generations. Su Yuming returned to Sanja Peak before sunset, and saw the red silk auditorium that had been decorated. Uncle 19, Yang Guangsu came over with a smile, You have been away for many days, and the ancestor of Yandang has already refined 2 foundation-building pills. At present, the second elder and the third elder have gone back to retreat to break through. I think there will be good news in 10 days. Do they have a chance to build a foundation? I haven't told Uncle 19 yet. The first elder, who had just recovered from a serious injury, came out of retreat and asked the elder of the weapon refinement to make an iron hand for him at the weapon refinement peak. Then he went down the mountain to train, and he was lucky enough to find royal jelly by the deep stream. He invited the ancestor of Qi to take action and seize a total of 5 portions of royal jelly. This thing alone can increase the probability of building a foundation by 10%. The 2 elders have each exchanged 1 portion with 5,000 family contributions, and 1 portion was taken away by Shui Yulong, the former executive hall steward. At present, the great elder has already swallowed a portion. Although his immortal path has been cut off, his lifespan has been extended. He can live for at least another 7 or 8 years, and his stubborn illness has also been cured. Without the decline of Qi and blood, he can still become a half-step foundation-building fighter in our clan and lead the battle hall to train the young men in the clan everywhere. Sui Yulong smiled and nodded. Third brother is blessed to have such an opportunity to come out again. As he said that, he patted Yang Guangsa's shoulder. You should spend more time with your father-in-law. Yes, Uncle 19, your nephew-in-law knows. I'll go back to the mountain first. Tomorrow I will propose marriage, and I will go to the Chu family in person. Yes. Swish. Sui Yulong raised his foot and flew towards the Sanju cave. He knew that Shui Yulong had been away from home for several days, and she probably had some grudges in her heart because of the family marriage, and she needed his comfort. Chapter 65, Shui Yulong is pregnant? New talent, many children, many blessings. My wife, Sui Yulong, landed on the edge of the cliff and saw Shui Yulong waiting there, preparing his favorite tremela soup. My husband, did you gain anything on this trip? Haha, there's indeed a 1,000-year-old cloud beast hidden above the sea of clouds. Sui Yulong rolled up his sleeves, revealing the shape of the unicorn head. I fought side by side with Senior Qilin and killed Yang Baimei, the owner of the Cloud Ranch. According to him, Yang Baimei was one of the culprits who destroyed your Cloud Shui family in the past. This is Yang Baimei's Cloud Wind sword. After speaking, Sui Yulong placed the sword on the table. Not long after, Shui Yulong prepared incense, candles, money and paper, and began to set up a platform to burn incense and worship. God has eyes. The enemy died under my husband's sword. Ancestors, parents, uncles and elders, please go slowly. Yang Baimei, the villain, finally went to hell. When my husband and I have cultivated successfully, we will kill the Taoist Red Guard and use his head to sacrifice to more than 10,000 people in my Shui family. Sui Yulong accompanied her to finish the worship, and waited until all the paper money was burned. Then stepped forward and gently stroked her back. Madam, go back and rest. The mountain wind is strong. My husband is joking. You and I are both cultivators, and we have long stopped avoiding the cold and heat. Shui Yulong smiled gently, and when she raised her head, she suddenly began to vomit. Madam, you are pregnant. Sui Yulong stretched out his hand and held her wrist tightly. During the days when his spiritual roots were cut off, he did not learn other auxiliary cultivations. He knew a little about medicine, refining instruments, and refining pills. Really? Shui Yulong was ecstatic. Then she took Sui Yulong's hand and sat down at the stone table on the cliff. Husband, can you tell whether it's a boy or a girl? It's the same for both sons and daughters. If my wife likes it, we can have another one in a few years. As he said that, he gently stroked Shui Yulong's black hair. I originally wanted to have a child with you after the foundation was established, but I never thought that you, husband, as a casual person. With your cultivation level, if you want to control something, wouldn't it be easy to do? Shui Yulong smiled and hid in his arms. Husband is going to the Blackstone ancient domain to fight for the family and respond to the call of the Five Beasts sect. But it is an outside world after all, and it is full of dangers. Please think about your wife and children at home during the battle, and don't take risks in dangerous places. Husband knows. As for the female cultivator of the Chu family, I mentioned her to the ancestor of Qi, but I didn't expect that they didn't marry Chu Hongxiu, but married Chu Qinglun instead. Although Chu Hongxiu is a female cultivator, her talent and ability are enough to pass down the family tradition. The Chu family will most likely only recruit a son-in-law and will not marry out. As for Chu Qinglun, besides being a top-level alchemist, she is also one of the 4 sons of Yandang. This is the best of both worlds and is enough to sell for a high price. What did my family give as a betrothal gift? The refining materials that my husband brought back, the 9 Zhanglong Crab Emperor Spirit Wood. The family plans to use it to build a large flying boat for future expeditions. A lot of treasures will be added to it to refine spirit tools. At present, we have asked the senior from the Earthfire Weapons sect of Tao County to make a move. The reward alone is as much as 15,000 spirit stones. In addition, the 6 first-grade top-grade spirit materials, one of which is combined with a 1,000-year-old ice silk to create a top-grade spirit tool, the Phoenix Head Kong Hao, is the dowry this time. In addition, we have prepared 11 betrothal gifts, including 80-year-old fragrant lilies, 180-year-old golden lotus and jade jujube flowers, the first stage late-stage spirit beast Huangyan, 9 top-grade magic tools in total, including the top-grade spiritual tool Jade Ruai, an ox-horn comb, a ruler, a money box, a Ruai scale, a mirror, a bucket, scissors, and an abacus, plus 88,888 spiritual stones. This is enough to give the Chu family face and allow them to marry the clan leader's daughter Chu Qinglun as a co-wife. Su Yuming stretched out his hand to comfort Shui Yulong, and together with her, they checked the 10 Scorpion King bee beast eggs that were being nurtured, as well as the various spiritual herbs she bought and planted in her spare time. I'll leave you 10,000 spirit stones. You can find some beast blood spirit horses and feed them in the mountains. These 100-year-old verbenas can be used for feeding. If you have 1,000 plants, it won't be difficult to train 2 or 3 top-quality spirit horses. Don't worry, my husband. I know how to breed dragon-scale horses. I'll teach Shusheng and Shulian later and let them breed them in the grasslands in the back mountains. If they can raise hundreds of dragon-scale war horses for my Su family in 10 to 20 years, perhaps my Su family can also have a dragon-scale cavalry that can walk on rivers and lakes as if they were walking on flat ground. Thank you for your hard work, madam. Don't worry, madam. Whether in the future or now, you are my only beloved one, husband. Shui Yulong was moved, her eyes were tender, and she was about to rub against Su Yuming's arms with tenderness. Madam, you are pregnant now, so don't act rashly. Shui Yulong rolled her eyes at him, stretched out her hand to pull Su Yuming's belt, and walked towards the cave until the fog array engulfed the figures of the two, and a belt had rolled to the ground. Diligence can make up for lack of talent. 1200, 5000, a flash of inspiration, 700/1000, Zhuanyang Dharma body, 3/3. It doesn't count? After the moon became bright, Su Yuming stood on the edge of the cliff, wearing only an undershirt, and confiscated Jiang Beimei's top-grade Dharma robe and gave it to Shui Yulong to mend. If he used some 100-year-old silkworm silk, it would not damage the pattern and spiritual charm of the top-grade Dharma robe. He was overjoyed when he saw that Zhuanyang Dharma body had accumulated again. Later, when he checked his attribute panel, he saw the new talent, many children and good fortune. I don't know what this many children and good fortune can bring me, he thought to himself, and a rainbow light suddenly flew from the end of the sky, directly penetrated their formation barrier, and landed in front of the 3 Absolute Cave. Flying sword to send a letter. Su Yuming raised his eyebrows. This must be someone who is familiar with him, otherwise he would not be able to find his location. And the flying sword to send a letter would not be able to reach him. With a casual move of his hand, a foot-long wooden sword flew in the air and fell into his palm. This thing was a wooden sword carved from 100-year-old spiritual wood. Just like the letter tube for pigeons, it only had the fastest wind speed technique, in order to deliver the letter. With the full force of the messenger, it would be difficult to intercept unless one was 1 realm higher than the messenger. 4 Square Terrace, a battle at midnight, dare you come? There was only a short line of words on it, and the writing was weak, but there was a sword light hidden in it. Feeling this strong residual foundation building spiritual power, Su Yuming didn't need to think too much about who this person was. Because in the entire Yandang 6 Mountains, there was only one person who practiced swordsmanship, comprehended the sword meaning, and stepped into the first step of sword cultivation. One of the 4 sons of Yandang in the previous generation, Chu Hongxiu of Xianshu Pavilion. Does she want to fight me before my niece gets married and the 2 families join forces to venture into the Blackstone ancient domain? Su Yuming stepped on the purple lightning flying boat and left the 3rd level formation in an instant. He appeared in an ancient battlefield in Xianshu Lianbao, 800 miles to the east. 100 miles away was Xianshu town, which was governed by the Chu family of Xianshu Pavilion. A beautiful figure had already sat on one knee under the moon with a sword in her arms. Chapter 66, Sword Fighting and Questioning, First Encounter with a Blackstone Ancient Domain. Seeing Su Yuming taking away the flying boat and landing in front of him, Chu Hongxiu, with her ponytail combed high, looked just like when they first met 40 years ago. When she turned her head, she had already picked out the spiritual weapon sword with her thumb. Clang, the sword energy of the river stirred up waves of dozens of feet, slashed through the darkness and turned into blue light falling towards Su Yuming. Su Yuming raised his hand suddenly, and the bagua brown sword was unsheathed to cut off a 30-foot flaming dragon, and collided head-on with the sword energy. The spiritual power of the collision exploded in the air, and the rain of fire in the sky dissipated, forming a sea of fire between the two. You are also learning swords. Chu Hongxiu's pupils shrank slightly, and she waved her hands. Two streams of light flew out from behind her. They were surprisingly two identical flying swords, interweaving into the sun, moon and starlight and falling towards Su Yuming again. Sun and moon shine together, two intertwined flying swords simultaneously slashed a sword or at him. Su Yuming stepped on the ground, and his figure turned into clouds and mist and floated away. The 8 diagrams broadsword in his hand was raised, and the water curtain Lianhua technique and the earth-shaking technique fell almost simultaneously with his sword light. While a water curtain blocked the two sword lights head-on, the earth and the sky shook violently. The moment the two top-grade magic weapon flying swords fell, Chu Hongxiu had already taken a step into the air. One sword across the river, Su Yuming raised the Yunfeng sword again, and the foundation-building magic, Yunfeng Invisible turned into a myriad of clouds and mist. The moment it hit the sword training aura, it collapsed in the sky at the same time as it. You actually have two spiritual weapon flying swords. Chu Hongxiu was a little surprised. The left hand that urged the flying sword suddenly pulled back, and two streams of light flew back quickly, forming a sword formation with the spiritual weapon flying sword in her hand. 3 rivers. The river beside Xianshu town where the two fought was called Shu River. But the town entrance where Xianshu town was located was exactly where 3 tributaries converged, called 3 rivers. Chu Hongxiu had been practicing swordsmanship in San River, standing on the tides, since she was 4 or 5 years old, and now she is 53. This is almost her strongest sword. And at this moment, her cultivation level could not be hidden, and it was surprisingly in the middle stage of foundation building. Su Yuming smiled bitterly, quietly activated the Earth Dragon Moving Mountain technique, and suddenly slashed out with a cloud wind sword in his hand. There was no sword energy, but relying on the tyrannical and overbearing power, one force defeated 10 skills. Boom! After a loud noise, the top-grade spiritual weapon in his hand did not move at all, and the sleeves of his right arm holding the sword turned into ashes, revealing the arm that had just started to refine its skin, with dozens of scattered sword energy scars crisscrossing on it. On the other side, Chu Hongxiu's face turned pale for a moment, and the sword energy leaked like a tide, and she had no intention of continuing to fight. You can block my strongest sword attack without using the talisman technique you are good at, nor your 3 magics. Su Yuming, although you have stagnated in the realm of cultivation over the years, your fighting skills have not fallen behind, but you are still the same as before, thinking that you are extremely talented in fighting me with a method I am good at? How arrogant. After saying that, she looked at the pair of flying swords that Su Yuming had taken back. 2 top-grade spiritual weapon flying swords. You are taking them to the Blackstone Ancient Domain like this, and you are not afraid of being hit by a club. How about selling me one? As she said that, she reached out to wipe the 2 top-grade magic weapon flying swords. Looking at the 2 or 3 nicks on them, she felt very distressed. Your flying swords are of too high quality, and my magic weapon was almost destroyed by you. What are you going to exchange? The inherited spiritual weapon of Xianshu Pavilion. Su Yuming didn't look down on her. Your Xianshu Pavilion's belongings were really not enough to exchange. A sword stone can help you comprehend the sword intent. Let my Xianshu Pavilion 2nd level top grade weapon refining master do it for your Su family once. In addition, do you want this? She casually pointed in the direction of her Niwen palace, and a sword talisman quickly flew out and landed in her palm. This is a sword talisman that was passed down from the Yuanqi sword palace of the Yuanying sect in the early years. It can protect your Niwen palace and protect your soul from spiritual attacks and invasions by evil spirits. It is comparable to a mid-grade spiritual weapon and can be used many times. Do you want it? She looked at Su Yuming seriously. I know you have a strong spiritual consciousness, so add this. She threw out another jade slip. This is the Spiritual Consciousness Magic Net, a foundation-building spiritual consciousness defense secret technique, which can also seal memory and magic power. Is it enough? Shui Yulong's eyes flickered. I want this spiritual consciousness magic net secret technique and the sword stone. After saying that, he threw the top-grade magic weapon Songfeng sword obtained from Yandang Mountains and stabbed it into the ground not far away. Chu Hongxiu made a move and took it in her hand, and immediately showed a happy expression. You can only exchange it for sword stones and spiritual stone magic net secrets. What do you have to exchange? She raised her lips. It was still early in her foundation building, and she still retained the purity of her early years. Her lively eyes could not help but pull Shui Yulong back to the BKO conference of the year. Shui Yulong casually threw out a wooden sign with the word sword engraved on it. Chu Hongxiu grabbed it in her hand and couldn't let it go. I want this thing. I won't hide it from you. This is the token of the true disciple of Yuanqi Sword Palace. There is a sword mark left by a giant sword cultivator on it. He is a third-step sword cultivator. It will be very useful to me. She casually threw the jade slip of the spiritual consciousness magic net secrets, and threw 2 sword stones. I want this wooden sign, and I will compensate you with 10,000 spiritual stones for Songfeng's sword. Hongxiu, seeing that she was about to leave, Shui Yulong suddenly called her back. What else? Chu Hongxiu frowned slightly. Could you tell me about the Blackstone Ancient Domain? The Blackstone Ancient Domain is the dojo of the Blackstone Demon Emperor. A nascent soul demon emperor, and there are many human beast taming sects. People over there capture monsters as pets, and the monsters feed on humans. They burn, kill, plunder, and fight endlessly. Billions of people were killed by monsters within 100 years, and at least half of them were wiped out. This is why the Five Beast sect decided to conquer the Blackstone Ancient Domain. It is worth mentioning that the Sword Domain where the Yuanqi Sword Palace is located also sent troops together with my Mountain and Sea Domain. The 2 major giant sects, the Hanhei Sword Sect and the Wuxiang Sword Sect, took action over there. If you encounter them, just be careful. In addition, after the battle with Zhuan Fuzi, you have been ranked 78th on the Mountain and Sea Domain Foundation establishment list, and I am 81st. You and I are both one of the 4 sons of Yandang. If you encounter other foundation building challenges, don't take it lightly and lose the face of my Yandang 6 Mountains. Swish. After she finished speaking, she was already wrapped in the sword light, and flew away for dozens of miles in a breath, and disappeared in Xianshulianbao in the blink of an eye. Shui Yulong put away the gains of this trip, stepped on the ground, performed the Earth Dragon movement technique, and left this place for dozens of miles before driving the purple lightning flying boat and disappeared at the end of the sky. First comprehend the sword intent, and then learn a few swordsmanship as a guarantee, since there are 3 major giant sects entering the scene, and there are also local sect forces. The demons in the Blackstone Ancient Domain must be extraordinary. Thank you for the 100-point reward support from Brother Billion Shui. Thank you. Chapter 67 Remarks on the release. Unfortunately, in the end, I didn't even have the chance to recommend it for revival. The editor suggested that I put it on the shelves and give it a try. Then let's give it a try. I mentioned many times that I would update 20 times on the first day of the release, and I won't break my promise this time. From 12 o'clock noon on April 21st until 12 o'clock noon on the next day, April 22nd, we will update once an hour. We will present 20 updates of 40,000 words. If you come to reward 4 people, then I will make 24 more perfect. 1 person counts as 1 time. 2 days ago, the follow-up reading was 348. And it increased a bit when I drove, so it counts as 400 follow-up reading. Woohoo! If it weren't for the criticism, we would have at least 800. Brothers, if you can come to 200 subscriptions, I can keep writing. Let me talk about my recent troubles. My daughter's jaundice relapsed again. She was hospitalized for 7 days on the 2nd day after she was born. Now she has to be hospitalized for another 3 or 4 days for observation. I will visit her at 10:30 tomorrow morning and bring her the blue light diapers and blue light eye masks she needs. I will update you regularly after I come back at 12 o'clock. I went to check and recheck every day. When I saw the blood drawn from the arteries in my arms, thighs and hips, I was heartbroken as a new father. In addition, before the release of this book, I would like to thank Taluoluo Kangxi. Your Qing dynasty is over. Yu Shenkin, this host is too professional. Pei Tu Gao, the first cause of the heavens. I want to indulge from mercenary to Lord of War. I am so grateful for the support of these big guys. Chapter 68, Marrying Chu Qinglun and Enlightening the White Cloud Sword Qi. One more, please order first. First, bow to heaven and earth. Second, bow to parents. In front of the Zujia Town Ancestral Hall, 150,000 Su clan members gathered around to witness the celebration of the clan leader marrying Chu Qinglun, the eldest daughter of the Chu family. Chu Qinglun, one of the 4 sons of Yandang, was at the 7th level of Qi Refining and was a first-class top-grade alchemist. Su Yuming, who had successfully built his foundation and ranked 78th on the Shanghai area foundation building list. In their opinion, they were a perfect match. Have you heard? Our clan leader values love and friendship. Even though his original Taoist partner is only at the 4th level of Qi Refining and has low-grade spiritual roots, he is willing to keep her as his wife. The eldest lady of Xianshu Pavilion actually married here as a concubine. It's really amazing. This is a future foundation building cultivator and a 2nd level alchemist who is willing to marry the clan leader as a concubine. The clan leader just broke through the foundation building and killed 2 foundation building cultivators and 2 2nd level monsters. Who among the 6 foundation building cultivators in Yandang Mountain has such a record? I think it's their Xianshu Pavilion that has climbed up the ladder. At the ceremony, although there were rumors, the 2 families only wanted to form an alliance and didn't care about the trivialities. In the back mountain, listening to the excitement in front, Su Yuan reached out and held Shui Yulong's hand. Do you regret it? No regrets. It's enough for him to have me in his heart. Shui Yulong smiled sweetly and reached out to gently stroke her belly that had not yet bulged. 19th brother is loyal and righteous, and will never treat you unfairly. However, since this is for the benefit of the family, I have brought the ancestors' decree. He said that he would prepare at least 1 foundation building pill and 2 foundation building opportunities for you as compensation. Shui Yulong was shocked. This is really too precious. Su Yuan hugged her in his arms and patted her back gently. It's okay. If it weren't for you, 19th brother would not be able to get out of the haze of the past, and he would not have the reputation of the 3 absolutes today. We are still looking forward to you giving birth to little 3 absolutes to inherit the mantle of 19th brother. Shui Yulong nodded embarrassedly. I'm sorry to worry you. I will try my best. By the way, there is a child born in your Shui family this month named Shui Yunmen, who has a 3rd grade lower grade spiritual root. I have taken him in as a boy in the mansion to run errands for me. Thank you, 2nd sister, for taking care of him. It's as it should be. We are all family. After Su Yuan left a bunch of gifts and left, Su Yuming also started his wedding night. He pulled open the red veil and looked at the rouge-colored Chu Qinglun. She looked a bit like Chu Hongxiu, but compared to Chu Hongxiu's charm and competence, she was immature and a bit shy, which was just right for an 18-year-old female cultivator. Husband, after drinking the wedding wine, she fell weakly into Su Yuming's arms, and followed the method taught by her aunts when she got married, and stepped forward to undress Su Yuming. Please have mercy on me, husband. She brought a mandarin duck handkerchief with her own hands, and lay peacefully on the pillow, looking at Su Yuming with watery eyes and tenderness. The lights went out, the red curtain was raised, and outside the closed windowsill, a black cat quietly left. All the cultivators from the Yandang Mountains who were about to leave tomorrow had sent at least 1 foundation building cultivator to participate in Su Yuming's wedding, including the Red Crab Forest Wong family. It was not until the sun was high in the sky that Su Yuming sat up and began to regulate his blood and qi. On the other hand, Chu Qinglun, who had already collapsed into mud, struggled to get up. Husband, I still have to pay my respects to my sister today. No need. Yulong is not a stingy woman. She knows my physique. After I lead the team out today, you and her will be stationed in the Sanju cave together. After that, Su Yuming handed her a wooden sign of the Su family. Your identity is the chief steward of the alchemy peak. You can use all the alchemy materials in the clan at will, but you also need to hand in 5 first-grade top-grade elixirs every month. Also, don't fall behind in your cultivation. Su Yanbing is now the chief steward of the library. If you have time, you can go to him to learn from him. By the way, Su Yuming flipped his hand and took out a set of magic weapons prepared by the clan. This is the top-grade magic weapon Yan'an sword, and the middle-grade magic weapon Yunwu Taoist robe. They are the best that my Su family can come up with. When you can break through the 9th level of Qi Refining, as my Taoist partner, you will get a chance to build a foundation. I hope you can put your family first in the future. I will follow my husband's instructions. Chu Qinglun leaned on Su Yuming's arms, without any strength. She looked at Su Yuming's brown skin. My husband, you are already refining your body. No wonder you are so powerful. When I was young, I only studied magic, which was inferior. Now I am old and I want to improve my body to increase my combat power. My progress is very slow. I have just entered the realm of brown skin and iron bones. I can barely avoid being hurt by low-grade magic weapons, Su Yuming replied with a smile, then pointed his finger, and a sword light flew out and landed outside the door. Shui Yulong, who was standing in the yard, fell to the ground in fear. Master, you should wash up. There's still half an hour before the family team will set off. Got it. Su Yuming stood up and patted Chu Qinglun's forehead. Qinglun, after I leave, you will have to stay alone in the empty room. If you want to relieve your boredom and have any confusion in your practice, you can go to find my second-level Yuan ancestor. Yes. Watching Su Yuming leave, Chu Qinglun showed a melancholy face. Who says Su Yuming is old and weak? I think he is very vigorous. He is worthy of being one of the 4 sons of Yandang in the previous generation, who is as famous as my aunt. If he can give birth to a child, it will be a good story. However, he has to return safely from the Blackstone ancient domain. Thinking of this, Chu Qinglun's heart was moved. However, she soon became tired and fell asleep under the quilt. After all, she was one of the new 4 sons of Yandang, and she was at the 7th level of Qi Refining. How could her body be so fragile? Hu! In the air, Su Yuming flew very fast. He stepped on the Yunfeng sword and felt a sword energy passing from his feet to his heart. When he felt a sense of pride in his heart, he pointed his toes and the Yunfeng sword flew out directly. The yellow crane tower is 3,000 feet high. This time, the lonely wild geese flew 300 feet into the sky, cutting through the sea of clouds, and shining a dazzling golden light, illuminating the main hall of the 3 absolute peaks. The 100 men who were going to the battle had been standing in the hall waiting for orders for a long time. Zhuanyang Dharma Body, 4/5, Su Yuming, who had consumed another charge, let out a long roar, put away the cloud wind sword, stepped on the purple lightning flying boat, and shouted to the people below, all the disciples of the Su family in Yandang Mountain, listen to my order, board the boat immediately, follow me to the battle, gather in Tao County, follow the 5 Beasts Supreme Sect, and conquer the Blackstone ancient domain. Yes, the purple lightning flying boat under his feet swelled 30 feet in the wind, enough to seat 100 people. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 69 Tao County, The World of All Living Things. 2 more, please subscribe first. Under the Shanghai area, Shanghai Kingdom, 13 states and 105 counties, has 10 billion mortals. Even in Tao County, there are nearly 100 million mortals and 100,000 or 200,000 Qi Refining Masters. Under Tao County, the Baiyun 5 mountains and Yandang 6 mountains command 2 Xiuxin markets and 11 mortal towns. The 5 major Purple Mansion sects, the Earth Fire Weapon sect, the Washing Sword sect, the Tyrant Sword sect, the Wind and Cloud sect, and the Absolute Sound sect, independently opened 5 Xiuxin markets and guarded 10 mortal counties. The Tao County station of the 5 Beast sect is Dingtao Pass, where 10 counties converge. To the north of Dingtao Pass is the Blackstone ancient domain they are going to conquer this time. The Shang flag fluttered, and the Qingshan Bay flag of the Su family of Yandang Mountain was already hung on the bow of the ship. After leaving Yandang Mountain, on the huge flaming skeleton, hundreds of people rode on its shoulders or just sat on its ribs, accompanying the skeleton over mountains and ridges, rushing quickly towards Dingtao Pass. A gloomy old man sitting cross-legged on top of the skeleton bowed to Su Yuming. I am Gushan, and I am honored to meet you, Taoist fellow Sanju. So you are Taoist fellow Gushan. I never thought that you would lead the team in Beigushan this time. Su Yuming was alert. In addition to the cold-faced ancestor, there was actually a mid-stage foundation building in Beigushan. Speaking of which, he didn't see the cold-faced ancestor when he got married. Could he have gone into seclusion to break through to the late stage of foundation building? Clang accompanied by the sound of a knife in the sky, 109 knife lights came from far and near. You all arrived early. The leader was a knife formation ancestor in the middle stage of foundation building. This person was the second person in the Absolute Sword sect of Day and Peak. He was good at forming a formation with a knife. His combat power was originally in the upper reaches among the 6 mountains of Yandang. After breaking through the middle stage of foundation building, he was at least in the top 5 of the 6 mountains of Yandang. Cry, dozens of spiritual cranes flew over from the horizon, each of them was several feet in size. The spiritual cranes flew northward, and some monks carrying medicine baskets sat on them. They were disciples of the Xianong sect. The old ancestor Shen Shu, who was leading the group and holding a medicine hoe, bowed slightly to the people around him. Fellow Taoists, please, today we are going to Dingtao Pass. The 6 families of Yandang must work together and not fight against each other, or they will be defeated by outsiders. That's right, but I heard that the Su family got the opportunity from somewhere. Now the spiritual mist in the family is condensed and not dissipated. I'm afraid there are a few more foundation builders. My Wong family sent 2 foundation builders to fight, but they must not be robbed by others. Halfway in the red crab forest, in the distance, on the backs of hundreds of crab monsters that were more than 10 feet in size, stood 100 Qi Refining monks. The one in the lead was the black crab ancestor, and next to him was Wang Xianwu, the great elder of the Wang family who is in the early stage of foundation building. Old black crab, stop sneering and mocking me. If you have the guts, would you dare to fight me for a few rounds? Su Yuming would not indulge him. The Su family and the Wang family were already mortal enemies. As long as there was a chance, he would kill them all. No, Taoist Sanju is already a prodigy on the foundation building list. Challenging him across levels is like drinking and eating. I will never be able to defeat you. When Taoist Sanju breaks through the late stage of foundation building, I am afraid that no one in the entire Yandang Mountains will be your opponent. The Black Crab Patriarch seemed to be submissive, but in fact he was still provoking. Black Crab, if you continue like this, then there will be no need for my Yandang 6 mountains to join forces. Chu Hongxiu brought people to ride on a 3-story ship. The bow of the ship was densely packed with cultivators from their Xianshu pavilion. This was a Xianshu treasure ship, a 2nd-level large spiritual weapon. It's just a joke. Seeing Chu Hongxiu speak out to help, the Black Crab Patriarch did not dare to continue to stir up hatred. My fellow Taoists, I heard from Tao County that the leader of the 5 Beast sect this time is the 5 Poison Immortal. He has a companion spirit beast, the Flying Centipede, which is also a 4th-rank spirit beast. 1 man and 1 beast can defeat 2 great golden elixirs. In addition, the 5 Beast sect's 5 Purple Mansion Wanderers, 100 Foundation Establishment Cultivators, and 100,000 Qi Refining Cultivators are all in place. This battle will definitely be very intense. How many troops will the 5 sects in Tao County send out? The voice of the Bone Mountain Patriarch was very cold. They have been in seclusion and Skull Mountain for many years and know nothing about the news from the outside world. 5 foundation building monks, 500 Qi Refining monks, and at least 1 late-stage foundation building monk. The Black Crab Patriarch looked around and said, 2 of the 4 Yandang sons of my previous generation have arrived today, and they have all been selected for the foundation building list of the mountain and sea areas. The young leaders of each of the 5 sects in Tao County are also on the list. This trip to Dingtao Pass may be a grand gathering for young people. At this point, he thought of the most outstanding crab Hongao in the clan, but now he is missing, and even the soul lamp has disappeared. How can we know whether he is alive or dead? Crossing the Yandang Mountains, they have appeared in the Earthfire Mountain in the middle of Tao County. This majestic mountain stretches for 5,000 miles, and the Earth's core flames all gather at the mouth of a valley. The valley that erupts the 2nd-level Earth's core fire all year round is the mountain gate of the Earthfire Weapon sect, one of the 5 sects in Tao County. Just approaching 100 miles, a heat wave came, and many disciples at the bottom of the Qi Refining level turned pale, and had to sacrifice their spiritual energy to resist. A powerful spiritual consciousness suddenly surged from the Earthfire Weapon sect, and in one breath, it had seen the team of several hundred people in Yandang 6 mountains from inside to outside. The Yandang 6 mountains are really getting worse and worse. Now they are going to the Blackstone Ancient Domain, and they can't even produce a late foundation building cultivator. The 2 juniors are quite interesting. A 2nd step sword cultivator with a peak foundation building spiritual consciousness. I wonder how it compares to the 3 true disciples of our Earthfire Weapon sect. This powerful spiritual consciousness came quickly and went away quickly. In the team of Yandang 6 mountains, Su Yuming couldn't help but look back at the depths of the earth-fire mouth. His pupils shrank slightly. Is this the third-level spiritual consciousness of the Purple Mansion realm? In comparison, the third-level spiritual consciousness of the Red Gourd Taoist is not even a little bit worse. Su Yuming felt the spiritual power surging in his body. The pool-sized spiritual fluid was gradually transforming into a deep pool. In about half a year, he should take advantage of the opportunity to step into the middle stage of foundation building. Ding, ding. After crossing the sword-washing heavenly pond of the sword-washing sect, Ding Tao passes in front of them. After flying for 10 hours for 8,000 miles, they finally saw this great pass of the human race. Densely packed Qi refining cultivators and colorful foundation building cultivators were flying everywhere in the sky, but under Ding Tao Pass, tents stretching for hundreds of miles have been set up, and the flags of the major sects are fluttering in the wind. The army of cultivators gathered here is more than hundreds of thousands of people. It seems that the situation on the front line is more serious than I thought. Su Yuming frowned. With the strength of the Su family, it is better to hide for now. Look, Huanho Sword, who is ranked 57th on the foundation building list, is going to fight with Kong Yunlong, the first true disciple of Fengyun sect, who is ranked 61st on the foundation building list. I heard that the winner of one of them will challenge the peerless genius of Badao sect, Bloodblade Zhao Chen, who is ranked 40th on the foundation building list. As soon as he landed, he received such explosive news. Su Yuming turned around and happened to meet Chu Hongxiu's eyes. Let's go take a look together, okay? Chapter 70, There are strong and weak on the foundation building list, and the reign of Huanho swords falls on Taoguan. 3 more, please subscribe first. Ding Tao Pass was reinforced with a third-level formation. The bricks on the wall were covered with ghostly patterns, densely packed, thicker than the hair on the body. At this time, tens of thousands of cultivators gathered under the pass, and many streamers were coming from afar. On the top of the city, 2 figures stood 30 feet apart. The young man in a blue robe with a sword on his back was Liang Chenai, the Huanho sword. The one with his fists clenched and a green martial arts outfit was Kong Yunlong, the first true disciple of Fengyun sect in recent years. The Fengyun sect has slipped from the top tier of the 5 sects in Tao County. I heard that Kong Yunlong has already comprehended the meaning of fists and mastered the 3 magic fists of Fengyunlu. I wonder if he can force out Liang Chenai's Huanho sword reign. It's probably difficult, but we are in for a treat. In the past 5 days, the geniuses on the foundation building list have fought more than 10 times. I estimate that the 100 people on the foundation building list in our mountain and sea region, if not all of them are here, there must be 70 or 80 of them. If they all fight, it will be a blooming of 100 flowers. It's a pity that the 5 Beast Sect's true disciples have not yet appeared. I heard that the 5 Beast Sect occupies 10 seats in the top 20 on the list, and they occupy half of the seats in the top 50. It's really the most powerful 5 Beast Sect in the past 500 years, which really makes the subordinate sects like me ashamed. Look, Nanguangyang from Juan sect is here. Wow, the crowd was surging, and countless people looked towards the top of the 7-story pavilion inside the pass. They saw a female cultivator playing the zither behind the 8-sided gauze curtain. The looming willow waist was slender, and the round and graceful figure seemed unattainable. What was even more terrifying was that this person's aura was actually at the great perfection of the foundation building realm. The sound waves of her playing the zither alone were at the 3rd level. The 70,000 to 80,000 Qi refining cultivators present were all attracted by her music, and their originally agitated emotions became calm. What a grand ceremony! In this battle of geniuses on the foundation building list, there is actually a musical instrument master, Empress Nanguang, who will come out to play the zither in person to support the battle. Maybe the seniors of each family have arrived. This battle is related to the ranking of the strength of the Fengyun sect and the Zhejian sect in the next 100 years. Raise the sword. Under the city gate, hundreds of Zhejian sect disciples raised their hands and pointed at the same time. The long swords on their backs rose into the air one after another, forming a sky bridge above the sky, which supported Liang Chenai to rise dozens of feet into the air. Mystifying, Kong Yunlong on the opposite side snorted coldly and smashed down with a fist. Lion's roar, buzz, accompanied by a loud and piercing roar. The terrifying sound waves shook the area within a radius of dozens of miles, but under the soothing sound of the piano, the tens of thousands of cultivators below the city gate did not feel the slightest discomfort. Dang dang dang, the Cambridge of hundreds of flying swords in the air was shot down like rain, But a roar shattered the spiritual consciousness connected to the flying swords. Clang! A blue sword intent crossed the sky, and suddenly a sword fell and directly chopped on Kong Yunlong's fist. The moment the fist shadow was broken, Kong Yunlong had already rushed forward with a punch. Fiery Sun Lion Roar Fist. The scattered sound waves suddenly gathered together, accompanied by the explosion of fist intent, and gathered into a terrifying flame lion head of dozens of feet, instantly sweeping over Liang Chenai. Splashing ink and painting, a stroke of thick ink appeared in the void, and Liang Chenai's hand suddenly appeared a spiritual weapon. The brush moved with his sword, instantly tearing apart the overwhelming fist force, and walked safely to the sky above the city. Using brush and ink as a sword, Liang Chenai, how dare you look down on me? Kong Yunlong was furious, and the whole person turned into a red-armored blue dragon, dozens of feet tall, and waved a claw at him. The claw shadow tore apart the wind and clouds within a radius of several miles, and instantly tore Liang Chenai's figure into pieces. Right the spring and autumn period with one stroke, the tip of the brush suddenly appeared at the center of Kong Yunlong's eyebrows again. The phantom of the red-armored blue dragon with a green face and fangs instantly disintegrated, and the whole person was shaken away and locked by a Huanho sword in midair. Huanho sword rain. Liang Chenai stood in the air intoxicated. His sword was like a spring rain, falling sparsely, baptizing the earth and washing away the dust. Dang dang dang! Kong Yunlong's body surface, an extra layer of blood-colored Qi energy blocked all the sword rain. His whole body was full of Qi and blood, almost reaching the critical point of the peak of foundation building. Rough bull transformation, hit the bull across the mountain. He turned into a bull with his fists pointed to the sky, and his body turned into a bull several dozen feet tall. He stepped on the void and appeared around Liang Chenai in an instant. But at this time, the sword rain around Liang Chenai kept condensing and rotating around him. Water Dragon Song. Liang Chenai pointed the Huanho sword in his hand forward, and the endless sword rain turned into a sword flower water dragon and collided with a bull in the air, shaking the earth, and the beast's shadow exploded. Hula! Under the eyes of the crowd, a bullhorn suddenly hit Liang Chenai behind the sword flower water dragon, blood splashed, and Liang Chenai's top-grade magic weapon level heart armor was instantly shattered. If it weren't for the light of the Vajra indestructible talisman on his body, I'm afraid he would have been pierced by the bullhorn in an instant. Hitting the bull from across the mountain, a strike that penetrates the spell, Su Yuming stood in the crowd, somewhat surprised by the power of this move. Boom boom boom, in the air, the bull, whose head was barely left, leaped up dozens of feet into the air, and stomped down with both feet. The second transformation of the bull, 2 feet stepping on the moon, clang. Liang Chenai reached out to wipe the blood from the corner of his mouth, and finally stopped hiding. His mountain and water sword intent burst out in full force, and the endless sword rain instantly turned into landscape painting, directly dragging the bull's feet into it, and instantly crushing it into pieces with sword intent. Shu Kong Yunlong in the air also reacted quickly, and directly retracted the bull's beast shadow of dozens of feet, turning into human form, but from the outside world, it still had a 10-foot giant foot, perhaps a bull's hoof, stepping heavily. The third transformation of the bull's hoof kicking the sky, this was the real killer move. Feeling the blow that was enough to shake the void violently, Liang Chenai poured all his spiritual power into the Huanho sword in his hand and pointed it towards the sky. Huanho sword rain falls from the sky, while the sword rain that dissipated in the air, the sword energy that fell to the ground as raindrops, and the sword ore he slashed out, suddenly turned into a storm of sword energy, leaped up from the ground, and smashed down from the sky hundreds of feet high. Dang dang dang, when the bull's hoof shook off all the sword energy and came in front of Liang Chenai, a sword tip instantly pierced Kong Yunlong's chest and impaled him on the sword. Liang Chenai sheathed the sword and clasped his fists towards him, saying, "Thank you, Brother Kong, you don't look like a second-step sword cultivator." On the street, Chu Hongxiu and Su Yuming stood side by side, muttering to themselves. Maybe it's an illusion. How can there be so much sword energy in just the foundation building? The Huanho sword rain seems to be all over the sky, endless. Is it possible that while watching the battle, we were dragged into landscape painting by him? Su Yuming stood with his hands behind his back. This Liang Chenai is not simple. In addition to the sword spirit, he has at least mastered a kind of painting spirit and a very strong illusion. Let's go. Chu Hongxiu felt the strength of herself in Liang Chenai and prepared to turn around. Shua, another person, jumped on the city gate, sent the injured Kong Yulong back to the Fengyun sect team, and clasped his fists around. Lang Fanchen, the 90th on the foundation building list, would like to ask the geniuses on the list present, the 10 before and after me, are there anyone willing to teach me? Su Yuming's eyes were full of smiles, looking at the beautiful figure next to him. This is the chief of the Fengyun sect who was defeated and wanted to save his face. I am 78th, not among those he challenged, and you are 81st. Why don't you go and meet him to boost the momentum for my Yandang Mountains? Chapter 71, instantly defeated Lang Fanyan, Xianshu sword Chu Hongxiu became famous in one battle. For more, please subscribe first. I just saw Bloodblade Xiao Chen is here too. I will defeat Lang Fanyan and you will defeat Xiao Chen. How about that? Chu Hongxiu didn't even turn her head. Facing Su Yuming's teasing, she responded as usual. Xiao Chen is ranked 40th. How can I defeat him? Su Yuming was immediately at a loss whether to laugh or cry. Besides, he is very arrogant. Even if I want to challenge him, I have to get past Liang Chenai and Kong Yulong first. Otherwise, what will happen to their fight today? Being targeted by the chief disciples of the two Purple Mansion forces at the same time is not a pleasant feeling. Sure, regardless of what Su Yuming said, Chu Hongxiu had already raised her foot and landed on the city gate. Chu Hongxiu of Xianshu Pavilion, come to fight. Her phoenix eyes condensed slightly, and her aura was released. The surging sword intent directly attracted the swords carried by countless cultivators under the city. Sword Qi is like a rainbow. Second step sword cultivator, Fanchen, admit defeat quickly, you are no match for her. On the street, a foundation building elder of Fengyun sect changed his face. Before he could speak, an iron shield magic weapon in front of Lang Fanyan was instantly cut off by a sword, and a Vajra indestructible talisman was instantly pierced. A sword flew through his robe directly from his armpit, and he was kicked out by Chu Hongxiu, and fell heavily into the crowd, which immediately scared countless Qi refining cultivators around him to flee. Lang Fanchen, who was in a mess on the ground, turned over with a somersault. They were all physical cultivators in Fengyun sect, so what was this injury? He wanted to fight again, but heard an old voice coming from the 7-story pavilion in the distance. Chu Hongxiu, elder of Xianshu Pavilion, middle stage of foundation building, second step of sword intent, sword Qi is like a rainbow, 50th on the foundation building list. I haven't lost yet. Lang Fanchen was furious. This woman beat him up and instantly soared by 31 rankings. Doesn't that mean he was crushed? Lang Fanchen, a true disciple of Fengyun sect, is in the middle stage of foundation building, has trained his body horizontally, and is proficient in fists and palms. He ranks 90th on the foundation building list. His ranking has not changed? Lang Fanchen was stunned. Why? I haven't used my full strength yet. She is lucky. Shut up. The Fengyun sect elder who had just spoken bowed to the 7-story building. The one who just spoke was Senior Xianji Sanren from the 5 Beasts upper sect. What qualifications do you have to question the senior? Why don't you leave immediately? Lang Fanchen dared not say a word. Although their Fengyun sect also had Purple Mansion cultivators, the other party was a master who could calculate the secrets of heaven and make every possible plan. If he really offended him, 10 Lang Fanchens would be easily killed. Is Bloodblade Xiao Chen here? Chu Hongxiu, who was standing on the top of the city, had not yet left the scene. She looked around and looked at the buildings in the distance. Her cry was accompanied by rolling spiritual power. The sound spread dozens of miles away and echoed above the sky. Chu Hongxiu, do you want to challenge me? Among the countless monks carrying knives, one person stood up in a red Taoist robe, carrying a huge knife as high as a person. He looked towards the city gate. Huanho sword Liang Chenai just won. Why don't you fight him first, and then challenge me? How about it? You are only ranked 40th, not 4th, but you are so arrogant. Chu Hongxiu looked calm. Badeo is not overbearing, but I think you are too arrogant. How about calling it Aodeo sect in the future? Ha ha ha. The crowd suddenly laughed. How dare you? Chu Hongxiu, how dare you humiliate my sect? I'm ranked 73rd on the foundation building list. Yang Pan, the double sword master, is here to defeat you. A figure stood up from the crowd. As soon as he let out a long roar, Xiao Chen reached out and pressed his shoulder. She has entered the second step of sword cultivation. If you are present here, and your artistic conception has not entered the second step, you will not be her opponent at the same level. He squeezed through the crowd step by step and walked towards the top of the city. His figure rose up, and his height of 1.9 meters made the broadsword on his back look extremely exaggerated. When he walked to the top of the city gate, the bandages wrapped around the broadsword disappeared without a trace, revealing only the blood-red blade and the grooves on the blade, as well as the sharp blade and the small branches on the blade. Chu Hongxiu, you want to challenge me, just to get the reward on the foundation building list. 1 day's promotion to the 31st place is enough for you to get a portion of Dongga Yusin's advanced magic power. You want to beat me, is it for the magical sword symbol, to comprehend a stronger sword way? On the street, Su Yuming was a little surprised. It turned out that challenging the foundation building list could also get the reward of the Five Beast sect. But I agreed to fight against Bloodblade Zhao Chen? How come you are the only one who stands out? I dare not think about the real sword pill, but I am determined to get the magical sword symbol of the Purple Mansion real person. Chu Hongxiu glanced at the long street. Brother Su, lend me 2 swords, and when I comprehend the sword way, you and I will watch together, okay? At the moment when countless eyes gathered, Su Yuming slapped the storage ring, and the bronze Bagua sword and Yunfeng sword had already broken through the air and flew out, falling to the top of the city. Supported by Chu Hongxiu's spiritual power, they hovered steadily in the air. Zhao Chen, the Blood Blade, I will borrow the 2 swords of the 3 wonders of Yandang Mountain to fight you today. Isn't that too much? Zhao Chen snorted coldly and looked back. Boom, boom, blood energy burst out from the long street, and at the same time, hundreds of blood energy gathered on the top of the city. For a moment, the area of 10 to 20 miles was dyed red by the blood energy. The sky is already full of blood before the battle begins. These young people are really capable now. At this time, on the top of the 7 Wonders Treasure Pavilion, Xianji Sanren smiled with his beard in his hand. Senior Xianji, who do you think will win between these two? Nanguang Niang withdrew her jade hands from playing the piano and smiled. They are evenly matched, but since Chu Hongxiu dared to challenge, she must have taken the initiative and shown her determination. If Bloodblade Zhao Chen is not prepared to die, he will not win this battle. Although Xianshu Pavilion is a foundation-building force, it is not as good as Zifu Tyrant Blade sect, but noble sons are born in poor families, while poor sons are born in rich families. Who will win depends on the cards they have. Chapter 72 Blood-Stained Clothes in the Sky, Sword Intent and Celestial Phenomenon. 5 more, please subscribe first. Yandang Mountains, Chu Hongxiu of Xianshu Pavilion, Su Yuming, the 3 masters of Yandang Mountains, I didn't expect you to come together. Bloodblade Zhao Chen looked around the long street and his eyes fell on Su Yuming. Why don't you two come together? Maybe you can have some chance of winning against me. If he comes up, you will definitely lose. Chu Hongxiu opened her lips. You are the proud disciples of the 5 sects of Tao County. In the past, your eyes were always on your forehead. In today's battle, I want the entire mountain and sea area to know my Yandang Mountains and my name is the 4 Masters of Yandang. After saying that, she had already raised the Xianshu sword in her hand. Come and fight. Sure, she started with 3 swords flying at the same time, like the surging sword force of a big river. 3 rivers flow. The 3 flying swords instantly condensed into the 3 talent sword formation, and the sword energy that burst out spanned 60 or 70 feet, which was already at the level of the late stage of foundation building. Clang, a strong sword intent instantly swept the bloody air, and with both hands, the broadsword behind him appeared in his palms and was tightly grasped. Zhao Chen's eyes were bloodshot, and blood quickly wrapped around his eyeballs. He swung the sword fiercely and chopped it down. Crashed the blue sky and white clouds, the bloody sword light was split into 2, and the 3 vortex water dragons were instantly chopped and flew away. Crash. After the endless waves dissipated, the 3 sword lights collided with a giant sword one after another, and then were knocked away for a moment. Chu Hongxiu grabbed with her big hand, and the wind and rain in the sky instantly rushed towards the opposite side. The great river flows east. Hualala, a river several tens of feet long, appeared at her feet. Although it was only a phantom sword energy, Xianji Sanren on the Kakao Treasure Pavilion in the distance showed a surprised look. This Chu Hongxiu has actually comprehended a higher level of sword intent. Her sword intent is a celestial phenomenon when she attacks, the prototype of the sword domain. I didn't expect that a town cultivator would have such attainments. Zhao Chen on the opposite side shouted, his hands turned into blood-flaming dragon claws, tightly grasping the blade. Perhaps this is the battle we are waiting for. Chu Hongxiu, you have the combat power of the top 30 on the list, and take my move, Blood Feast for the World. Hualala, the sky in a radius of 10 miles changed drastically, and the sword intent of the river surged like a tide. The blood evil was surging, and the endless blood energy turned into knife light, like a blood refining furnace constantly swallowing up the countless sword intents. Compared with the battle between Kong Yunlong and Liang Chenai just now, this battle is more than one level higher. There are 5 realms for sword cultivation, and 5 realms for sword intent. The second step of sword intent is the sword intent celestial phenomenon. Shui Yulong stared at the duel on the city gate, and felt that the Qi refining cultivators watching the battle in the front row were staggering and could no longer stand steadily. These two are the strongest combat power below the great perfection of foundation building, except for the top 20 on the list. The geniuses in the late foundation building stage can suppress them. And the rest are not their opponents. Then how do these two compare to Brother Su? Just at this time, a figure appeared beside him. He was covered in jewels and precious stones, and was hung with children's items, such as small gourds, small wooden combs, small fans, and small bells. But those who are familiar with him know that these are all magical instruments of high grade. I thought you weren't coming. You were the first one to enter the foundation building stage among the 4 Yandang disciples of the previous generation, but there has been no news for many years. Where have you been making money recently, Brother Liu? Shui Yulong didn't even turn his head. He knew that the person who came was the weapon master Liu Heng, who was one of the 4 Yandang disciples with him. He was the son of the ancestor Shenshu of the Xianong sect now. Like his father, he was in the middle stage of the foundation building stage. Just refine the weapon at home. If you are short of refining materials, go out and kill a few monsters. I counted with my fingers, and 20 years have passed. I thought you had already turned into a piece of yellow earth. Brother Liu didn't die, so I won't die either. Boom. As the sword and knife intentions shattered, the 2 figures flew backwards and fell to the ground. The one with the blood-stained clothes fluttering was the blood sword Xiao Chen. However, this guy still had half of his blood energy. The blood energy increase of hundreds of people allowed him to block the desperate fighting style of letting Chu Hongxiu go. Above the city gate, Chu Hongxiu's face was pale, but Shui Yulong knew that she had not yet used the spells on the 2 high-grade spiritual flying swords. As for the Xianshu sword in her hand, since it was the inherited spiritual weapon of Xianshu Pavilion, its grade must be not low. Clouds and winds are invisible, as if the wind and clouds were changing. Chu Hongxiu drew her sword again, and the power of the foundation building sword technique suddenly erupted. The 100-foot-long street was wrapped in clouds and mist, and countless onlookers retreated to avoid being affected by this attack. Clang Xiao Chen's face was solemn, and he stretched the broadsword in his hand forward horizontally, like a door panel to protect himself. Dang! After the tip of the sword touched the blade, he retreated more than 10 steps backward with his sword. Dang dang dang! Chu Hongxiu stretched out her hands, and her index finger and middle finger made sword fingers, and continuously tapped down. The 3 flying swords flew in the air like watching fish and flowers. While strolling in the garden, Xiao Chen could no longer resist the blood knife. The 3 top-grade spells, 10-mile fire dragon technique, water curtain Lianhua technique, and earth-shaking technique, were used in succession, making Xiao Chen overwhelmed. In the Kakao treasure pavilion, Empress Nangguang had already brewed a pot of tea. She raised it with her jade hand, and the tea poured into the cup with steam. The white jade cup and the yellow tea leaves complemented each other. She actually has 3 top-grade spiritual flying swords. This is too bullying. The Badao sect is good at using people to control swords, and blood-refined swords are sacrificed. It's going to be a matter of life and death. Old man Xianji stretched out his hand to grab Empress Nangguang's little hand, but she quietly dodged it. Senior, don't be anxious. If Nangguang can also enter the realm of the Purple Mansion, I will agree to your request. Elder Xianji immediately retracted his hand that had fallen in vain. Don't worry, I will bring you the Purple Mansion opportunity in the Blackstone Ancient Domain as promised. Boom! With a loud noise on the street, a crack of more than 20 feet long broke out from the ground. The moment Xiao Chen's legs sank into the ground, he had turned into a bloody man. Whether it was blood dripping on his robe, blood seeping through his pores, or hair dyed red by blood, in his eyes full of hostility and blood, they were all vulnerable. Blood evil world, sure. With a roar, the long street was directly cut in half by a 100-foot sword light. The moment the 3 flying swords flew backwards, Chu Hongxiu was hit by the sword light. Before she fell to the ground in the distance, she pulled with both hands, and the 3 flying swords that fell to the ground pulled the aura. Endless waves suddenly surged out from the deep of the broken ground and instantly submerged Xiao Chen. Puff! He was washed away by the underground river and fell directly into a shop 100 feet away. Chenner, immediately, an elder of the Tyrant Sword sect flew into the air, pulled his robe and helped him up. Did you lose even after using the Shura Sword Sutra? The elder who had reached the great perfection of the foundation building looked back at the long street, just in time to see Chu Hongxiu being helped up by Su Yuming. 2 of the 3 flying swords flew back into Su Yuming's storage ring, and 1 shrank to an inch in size and sank into her Niwen palace. Senior, can Chu Hongxiu be considered to have won this battle? Su Yuming looked at the 7 Wonders treasure pavilion for Chu Hongxiu. Thanks to Taoist Yang Sishan for his 500-point reward support, 1 more chapter will be added to 21, 5 chapters will be released first, and 1 chapter will be updated every hour afterwards. Chapter 73 Ding Tao Fang, Pre-War Auction, 6 more, please order first. After a while, Xianji Sanren stepped out of the Kakao treasure pavilion, wearing a white robe, with white beard, white eyebrows, and white fan, with kind eyes, and he looked like a Taoist master. Xiao Chen, the blood blade of the Tyrant Blade sect, has practiced the Golden Elixir Inheritance Shura Blade Sutra, and has a late foundation building combat power, which can be promoted to the 30th place on the foundation building list. Chu Hongxiu of the Xianshu Pavilion, Day Sword Intention, the 2nd step of Sword Cultivation, the 2nd step of Sword Intention, and the late foundation building combat power, which can be promoted to the 25th place on the foundation building list. After saying that, Xianji Sanren looked at Su Yuming. Are you satisfied, young friend? Thank you, senior. Su Yuming clasped his fist slightly towards him, then took Chu Hongxiu and flew into the air, and in a flash, they had landed near their base in Yandang Mountains. He stretched out his hand and handed Chu Hongxiu to Chu Chenglin, the 9th level Qi Refining cultivator who led the Chu family. Hey, Chu Hongxiu threw out her identity token. Go to Dingtao Pass and find the 5 Beast Sect's headquarters. There is a purple mansion Sanren in charge of exchanging military merits. I was promoted from 81st to 25th in 1 battle, and I can get a purple mansion sword talisman. After taking it, you and I will comprehend it together, okay? Su Yuming nodded slightly at her, put the identity token in his pocket, and then glanced at Su Yudang. Yudang, hold up the formation, I'm going to go out for a walk. Yes, Uncle 19. Su Yudang nodded, and watched Su Yuming drive a magic weapon into the sky and disappear at the end of the sky. Old Su, come to Dingtao Square. There is an auction held by the 5 Beast sect here. There are many foundation building treasures, and even purple mansion amulets and 2nd level top grade puppets. It is an auction hosted by Purple Mansion's Henrun. To attend, you must hand in 100 spirit stones. He reached into his bosom, and a sound transmission talisman appeared out of nowhere. It must have been done by Liu Heng. No one except him could hide the sound transmission talisman in his bosom without being discovered. Sure, the market in Dingtao Pass was very early, and the one with the tallest pavilions and towers was it. Su Yuming found that the cultivators from various families had put on their cloaks, and he also changed his clothes, dressing himself up as a middle-aged warrior with a scruffy beard, and walked in. Old Su, 2nd floor, the huge auction house, which could accommodate tens of thousands of people, was actually full at this time. Obviously, in addition to the hundreds of foundation building cultivators who were participating in the battle, there were also many Qi Refining cultivators who wanted to come and pick up the bargains. With a ticket of 100 spirit stones, he could make millions of spirit stones. What industry could have such huge profits? Su Yuming walked into the VIP room number 18 on the 2nd floor with yellow characters, and saw Liu Heng of the Xianong sect sitting on a mink chair at a glance. Fellow Taoist Liu, what are you doing? Seeing Su Yuming sitting down next to him, Liu Heng raised his hand, and a teacup with fragrance floated up and fell directly into his palm. Try it. This is the Blackstone Ancient Tea I found when I was wandering in the Blackstone Ancient Domain. It's a famous nourishing tea in the world of immortal cultivation. If you brew a cup of it every day, it can ward off external evil and nourish the soul. It's 1,000 spirit stones per penny on the market. Have you been to the Blackstone Ancient Domain? Su Yuming's pupils shrank slightly. It seems that there are a lot more good things among the magic weapons you have. Liu Heng smiled without saying a word, pointing to the auction. The map of the Blackstone Ancient Domain. You and I will trade later, and first see if there is anything at the auction that you like. Ding. As soon as the words fell, an old Taoist in the late foundation building stage walked onto the stage. Beside him was a black and white iron-eating beast. Its aura was also in the late second stage. Obviously, its combat power was not bad, but at this time, it was holding a long brocade box in its hand, with 7 7-inch flying knives in the box. My fellow Taoists, I am Wangzhong Seng, the elder of Tao County of the Five Beast Sect. Today, I am hosting this pre-war auction on behalf of the sect. The main auction items are all treasures above the foundation building stage, a total of 20 items. I welcome all Taoists to bid. As for the Qi Refining friends, you can go to the 6 venues of the weapon, magic, pill, array, talisman, and treasure after the auction. There are a wide variety of items inside. You can buy what you need with spirit stones on the spot. Good. With the applause, the old Taoist began to introduce, my fellow Taoists, this item is the 7-star flying knife, forged with cold iron from outer space. Because the palm-sized 1,000-year-old meteorite iron is not enough to forge a large spiritual weapon, we dispersed and smelted the 100-year-old meteorite iron to create this set of top-grade magic weapons, which comes with a set of 7-star sun array, which can burst out the power of a lower-grade spiritual weapon. The starting price is 5,000 spirit stones, and each bid must not be less than 100 spirit stones. Start bidding now. 5,100 spirit stones, 5,200 spirit stones, I'll bid 5,500 spirit stones. There were many cultivators in the crowd who were bidding, but the cultivators at the top 4 levels rarely opened their mouths. In a blink of an eye, the price climbed to 12,000 spirit stones. Finally, it was bought by a foundation building elder from Fengayan sect for 13,100 spirit stones. The second item is a talisman passed down from the beast talisman lineage of my 5 beast sect. There are a total of 200 top-grade talismans, 50 second-grade low-grade talismans, 20 second-grade medium-grade talismans, 10 second-grade high-grade talismans, and 3 second-grade top-grade talismans. They are arranged from high to low according to lion, tiger, bear, leopard, and wolf. This is the beast-controlling talisman of my 5 beast sect. Once used, you can summon a beast soul to protect you in battle for an hour. It is definitely an excellent treasure for self-protection and adventure, and today I have summoned all of you fellow Taoists again, and you can only buy it by bidding. The first grade top-grade swordback thorn wolf talisman is 3,000 spirit stones per piece. The second grade low-grade lightning leopard talisman is 8,000 spirit stones per piece. The second grade medium grade earth violent bear talisman is 15,000 spirit stones per piece. The second grade high grade storm tiger king talisman is 30,000 spirit stones per piece, and the second grade top grade 3-headed roaring lion king talisman is 100,000 spirit stones per piece. Wow, the price scared many cultivators. But this beast controlling talisman has always been a secret of the 5 beast sect. This time, they were able to bring it out, probably to motivate the subordinate forces and let their monks fight for their lives. Now, start buying. 200 top-grade swordback thorn wolf talismans, countdown, 50 have been sold, 150 are gone, all 200 are sold. Thank you for your support. In the blink of an eye, all 200 top-grade talismans were sold out. Su Yuming even blinked and they were gone. Brother Liu, why don't you take action to rob them? The 5 beast sect is clearly here to make money, and we are offering ourselves to them. There is not much else in the Blackstone ancient domain, but there are a lot of demons. If we want to control beasts, why don't we just capture a few spirit beasts ourselves? Why do we need to buy these useless beast souls? Liu Heng curled his lips, but the Storm Tiger King talisman and the 3-headed Roaring Lion King talisman are quite powerful. In a fight between you and me, they can also help you and me to restrain the enemy for a while. Are you interested? Su Yuming shook his head. It was too expensive. He only had 160,000 spirit stones in total, which was only enough to buy a 3-headed Roaring Lion King talisman. But the 5 beast sect took out this thing, which was originally prepared as amulets for the direct disciples of those big forces. How could they have the chance to bid for it? Thank you all the talismans have been sold. The last 3 second-level top-grade talismans were bought by Tyrant Blade sect, Absolute Sound sect, and Earth Fire Weapon sect. Thank you for your support. As expected, the 3 major Purple Mansion sects in Tao County took action, so there was no place for them. Are there any more rewards? One person will add one update. Only for today, there are not many manuscripts in stock, only 100,000 words. Chapter 74, Talisman Inheritance Jade Slip, Puppet Stone Heart, 7 more First Order. Top Grade Spiritual Weapon Tiger Soul Demon Slayer Sword, 78,000 spiritual stones for the third time, sold. Second grade intermediate puppet 8-armed ape 10 pieces, 40,000 spiritual stones for one price, all sold. Second grade healing spring, 5,000 spiritual stones per drop, 1,000 drops, all sold. After 10 consecutive auctions, the 5 Beast sect earned at least millions of spiritual stones. Including ticket sales, it has already earned tens of millions, which shocked Su Yuming. This is the spirit and means of a big sect. Even the Su family of Yandang Mountain, which has been around for more than 600 years, and the accumulation of 15 generations, is not as much as they can earn from holding a casual auction. The next item is the Jade Slip of the Talisman Inheritance of Senior Lei, the third-level Talisman Master of the Beast Talisman lineage. It contains his insights on the entry of Beast Talismans, as well as his explanations and experience on the process of making some second-level talismans. The starting price is 10,000 spirit stones, and each bid must not be less than 500 spirit stones. Su Yuming, who was sitting in the yellow box number 18, was a little sleepy at first, but he suddenly looked up. The third-level Talisman Inheritance, this is a good thing. 10,000 spirit stones, a cultivator in the hall immediately shouted at the top of his voice. 15,000 spirit stones, Su Yuming recognized this voice. On the second floor, it should be the guide Zhuan Fuzi of the third-level Talisman Sect. 20,000 spirit stones, Senior Labo has been admired for many years. Today, I am fortunate to see his inheritance, and I will definitely show my support. A deep voice came from the fourth floor. Su Yuming frowned. In the Shanhei area, the 5 Beast sect was the only talisman-making power, and below it were foundation-building forces like the third-rank Talisman sect. There were only a few of them, but someone was willing to spend 4,000 spirit stones to sit in the fourth-floor box. What kind of financial resources did this require? He is the Talisman Elder of the Black Phoenix Tower in Liangzhou. He is at the great perfection of foundation building and is also a second-rank top-rank Talisman Master. With your financial resources, I'm afraid you can't compete with him. Liu Heng, who was sitting next to him, was playing with the 8-armed divine ape he had just photographed, and hung all kinds of miniature magic tools on it, as if he was playing with a spiritual pet. 30,000 spirit stones, however, Su Yuming was not afraid of spending some spirit stones on something he liked, and he spoke loudly. Fellow Taoist, you have great courage. 40,000 spirit stones, the Talisman Elder of the Black Phoenix Tower bid again. 50,000 spirit stones, if the two Daoists raise the price any higher, the third-grade Fuzong, will not follow. Below, Zhuan Fuzi frowned, knowing that there would be good things later. If he used up all the spirit stones at this time, it would be exactly what others wanted. 60,000 spirit stones, Su Yuming raised the price again. He didn't want any more. This amount could buy 2 low-grade foundation-building pills. However, it was the way of beast talismans. He had a cheat. This thing was just a curiosity to him. 60,000 spirit stones for one time, 60,000 spirit stones, deal. Congratulations to the Taoist in the VIP room No. 18 of the yellow letter. In the room, someone soon brought a jade slip and exchanged 60,000 spirit stones with Su Yuming before leaving. Liu Heng looked at the jade slip that he couldn't let go of and couldn't help teasing. You said the 3-headed lion roar king talisman worth 100,000 spirit stones was too expensive. So you wanted to refine it yourself. Well, remember to give me one when the time comes. Do you have connections? Can you help me get some materials to make a second-grade talisman? Su Yuming looked up and asked instead of answering. Brother Su, why don't you go to the beach on the street and take a look? There are always a lot of monster materials in Dingtao Pass, and the 5 Beast sect is a major talisman-making sect. They brought a lot of talisman paper with them, not to mention the second-level inkstone talisman paper. Even the second-level top-grade Longtan talisman paper is available. The second-level talisman materials are about 10,000 spirit stones for 100 pieces, and the price fluctuates slightly. Su Yuming nodded slightly. Thank you, Brother Liu, for clearing up my doubts. The next item is the natural stone heart. This thing is the core of the stone clan, unique to the black stone ancient domain, similar to the heart of our human race, but it can survive for endless years. As long as it is not fatally injured, it can survive, but it has no consciousness. This is a treasure for refining puppets. There are 2 natural stone hearts in total, and they will be auctioned separately. The starting price is 10,000 spirit stones, and each increase in price must not be less than 200 spirit stones. 10,000 spirit stones, 11,000 spirit stones. As soon as the words fell, the price began to soar, and soon soared to 20,000 spirit stones. After all, this is a natural puppet core, and it can become a puppet perpetual motion machine without being injured. This is a top-grade puppet main material, and its value is much more precious than the 100-year cleansing marrow grass, the main material of the foundation building pill. 25,000 spiritual stones. Su Yuming heard a loud shout from the next box. If he heard it correctly, it should be the Wang family who is bidding. 30,000 spiritual stones. Before he could speak, Liu Heng next to him had already bid, overwhelming the other party. Brother Su, I will bid for these 2 puppet stone hearts for you. After entering the Blackstone ancient domain, how about helping me once when it does not violate the interests of your Su family? My one favor is worth these 2 stone hearts. Su Yuming looked at him with a smile. Chu Hongxiu is 25th on the foundation building list. She said she is not your opponent. Then Brother Su has the combat power of the top 20 at least. Your favor should be worth 100,000 or 200,000 spiritual stones, 50,000 spiritual stones. While chatting and laughing, the Wang family next door had already bid 50,000 spiritual stones. Gushan skeleton should not need this thing. It is probably prepared for the puppet demon ancestor. I guess the Wang family sent the puppet demon to avoid being attacked by you. What do you think, Brother Su? Why don't we join forces to kill them? Then this treasure can fall into your and my pockets without spending spirit stones. Su Yuming looked long. That's great, but then your Xianong sect Liu family will be burdened with the infamy of destroying the unity of the 6 mountains of Yandang. Ha ha ha. Liu Heng laughed and spoke again. 60,000 spirit stones, 60,000 spirit stones once, 60,000 spirit stones 3 times, deal. Congratulations to the Taoist friend in the VIP room number 18 of the Huangzi. In the next room, after hearing Liu Heng's voice, Gushan and the puppet demon ancestor looked at each other. The person on the other side should be the weapon master Liu Heng. What does he want this thing for? He bought an 8-armed divine ape before. He probably wants to study the art of puppetry. After all, refining weapons and refining puppets are similar. This kid has at least several spiritual weapons and more than a dozen top-grade magic weapons. His financial resources are amazing. We probably don't have any hope for the stone heart. 65,000 spiritual stones. Sure enough, in the next auction, Liu Heng offered a high price again, shocking the whole audience, and successfully won the second stone heart. He casually threw out 2 storage bags to pay for the spiritual stones, and handed the 2 stone lumps and the tray to Su Yuming. Brother Su, I am offering you this by borrowing flowers to pay for Buddha. Please accept it. Okay, I owe you this once, but if you let me help you resist the 3rd level monster or the Purple Mansion Wanderer, I will turn around and run away immediately. Brother Su, don't worry, I will definitely not make things difficult for you. Thank you for the 100-point reward support from Brother Bilian Shui. One more chapter. Are there any more chapters on the first day? Chapter 75. Second level weapon refining talisman, foundation building great perfection beast soul, 8 more, please subscribe first. The next lot is 100 second level refining talismans. Don't you want spiritual tools? You don't need to refine them yourself. Senior Gulong Sanren, the 3rd level refining master of my 5 beast sect, created his own refining talisman, which can directly give spirituality to 1,000-year-old spiritual materials, making them into top-grade magic tools. If you can also refine a beast soul, a low-grade spiritual tool can be made on the spot. Wow, everyone knew that the 5 beast sect was going to use a big move today to open the eyes of the cultivators of these subordinate forces. Unexpectedly, they actually took out such a good thing that shocked them. One price of 10,000 spirit stones per piece. Start buying now. Shua countless spiritual energy was agitated, and each cultivator reflected the number played in his hand in the 100 squares on the stage. Coincidentally, Su Yuming and Liu Heng both made a move. In one breath, the rush is over. Thank you all for taking care of my 5 beast sect's business. Elder Wang on the stage was very satisfied. If his 5 beast sect could make a lot of money tonight, he could be transferred back to the sect to serve as an outer sect elder. This status would be a world of difference. Not long after, in the VIP room, Su Yuming and Liu Heng each got a 2nd level refining talisman. Brother Su, I bought this to learn how to imitate it. Did you buy this to refine another spiritual weapon? Liu Heng asked, playing with the talisman in his hand. Except for you who has hundreds of magic weapons with you, Who would complain about not having enough trump cards? Shui Yulong felt a weapon refining talisman in his palm. Brother Liu, this thing is probably the method of making talismans. I have a legacy of a second-level talisman maker here. Why don't I imprint one for you, and the previous favor will be offset? That won't work. I'll exchange it for 20,000 spirit stones. After saying that, Liu Heng handed over 4 identical top-grade flying sword magic weapons, each priced at 5,000 spirit stones, which was fair. Shui Yulong casually threw his experience in making talismans over. It was true that he was a second-level talisman master, but he didn't expect that he could exchange spirit stones in this way. He had learned something. My fellow Taoists, the next item was bought by Senior Xianji Sanren of the Five Beast sect. He personally captured and killed a second-level Great Perfection multimodal ape and extracted its beast soul and placed it in this pill bottle. Elder Wang threw the pill bottle fiercely, and a terrifying beast soul of 20 feet tall appeared in the auction venue with its fangs and claws bared. Roar! As soon as a burst of anger broke out, it was quickly suppressed by a powerful magic power and sent back into the bottle. Elder Wang bowed slightly in the direction of the 5th floor. Thank you Senior Xianji for your help. Then he looked around. This item is the main material for refining a top-grade spiritual weapon. Everyone, don't miss it. The starting price is 100,000 spirit stones, and each bid must not be less than 1,000 spirit stones. 100, 0001, 000 spirit stones, 100, 0002, 000 spirit stones. As soon as the voice fell, the cultivators of the 5 sects of Tao County began to make their moves. Even in their sect, there is only one top-grade spiritual weapon at most, or none at all. Generally, a Purple Mansion cultivator can have a top-grade spiritual weapon. Only a fake Dan cultivator can hold the top-grade spiritual weapon. Otherwise, others will be jealous and it is very likely to cause a disaster. After all, this thing is worth hundreds of thousands of spiritual stones. Even a Jindan's Henren will inevitably be tempted. 120,000 spiritual stones. Shui Yulong tried to bid 130,000 spiritual stones, but the price was soon surpassed, and it soared all the way to 150,000 spiritual stones. Shui Yulong took a look at the many talismans in his arms, gritted his teeth and said, 153,000 spiritual stones, 160,000 spiritual stones. As soon as he finished speaking, he was overwhelmed by the great elder of the Earthfire Weapon sect. This guy is not only a foundation-building Great Perfection cultivator, but also a second-level peak weapon refiner. He wants to use this thing to refine a top-grade spiritual weapon to suppress the luck of the Earthfire Weapon sect. With the financial resources they have accumulated for many years of refining, Shui Yulong can only sigh in despair. Brother Su, are you still willing to bid? How about I lend you 100,000 spirit stones? Liu Heng beside him couldn't help but ask. Forget it. After saying that, Shui Yulong stood up and walked outside. Brother Su, why don't you continue to take a look? There are still good things behind. There may be some self-defense methods for the Purple Mansion realm. That is a real life-saving thing. My financial resources are limited. It's useless to take it. Shui Yulong bowed to him. Brother Liu, see you tomorrow when I come out of retreat. After saying that, Shui Yulong had already stepped out of the auction house and strode towards the market. Not long after, he had bought 300 sets of second-level talisman materials with 30,000 spirit stones, and then found a second-level retreat secret room in the market, paid 100 spirit stones for 1 day's fee, and entered the secret room. Shui casually took out the 2 demon puppets whose chests were pierced by sword energy. 11th brother, 11th sister-in-law, I've kept you 2 waiting for a long time. He unsealed the 2 stone hearts and repaired the hole in his chest. In a flash, wrapped in the 5 elements of beast fire, the 2 demon puppets had regained their activity. He smiled. In this way, his 2 second-stage late demon puppets were revived again. In the battle in the Blackstone Ancient Domain, he could have another trump card. Moreover, he scanned with his spiritual consciousness and found the special fluctuations on the stone heart. This stone tribe is an innate creature born and raised by nature. Could it be that there are still tribes of it in the Blackstone Ancient Domain? If I auction the stone heart, won't I be attacked by the stone tribe? Thinking of this, he had an idea. If he could get more stone hearts, he might be able to refine stronger puppets. The experience of this 3rd-level talisman master is really extraordinary. He actually used the beast soul to replace the spell to seal the talisman paper. The beast soul talisman is a new way of magic talisman, and the beast's soul can fight independently for an hour. This is injected with a lot of spiritual consciousness, just like adding a string to a puppet, which can be pulled and controlled by spiritual consciousness. This talisman method is not difficult. Shui Yulong hesitated for a moment, and then spent all the remaining 70,000 spirit stones in one go. Not long after, he had 10 second-level low-grade beast souls in his hand, and he only needed the swordback thorn wolf soul. This monster is not afraid of lions and tigers when fighting in groups. After several hours, he made only one mistake and continuously refined 9 second-level low-grade swordback thorn wolf talismans. By nightfall, he had refined 38 second-level forbidden breaking talismans and 45 second-level swordsmanship talismans, which naturally contained the sword in the air that he used all his strength to perform the golden Yago sword. Even so, there were still 50 second-level talisman materials left. 250 materials, refined 92 second-level talismans, close to 37% success rate, which is considered average. The main reason was that the golden Yago sword was too powerful, and he lost more than 40 pieces in a row before he could refine it. Otherwise, Shui Yulong would not be so distressed. We can return to the base. We will set off tomorrow. I don't know if the Blackstone Ancient Domain will directly launch a beast-tide to attack. Thanks to fellow Taoist friend Xianai Luoluran for his 100-point reward support. I will record one update. So far, there are 23 updates on the first day. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.